The era of Beast Girls begins with a pact with an SSS-Level School Beauty. Hello again, dear adventurers of the multiverse. Thanks for joining us once more on this epic journey. Remember, this story is pure science fiction from our wild imagination. So don't go trying to summon dragons in your backyard. The rights of this amazing novel belong entirely to its original author. We are only the narrators. Do you want more adventures? Show some love to our YouTube channel with a subscription and a like. And if you want exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting for you with open arms. Chapter 1 God-Level Beast Tamer System, SSS Rank Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox. Blue Star, Dragon Kingdom, Mengxuan Base City. The central square of the 3rd high school. Hundreds of students from 10 awakening classes are ascending the awakening platform under the guidance of their instructors to awaken their ferocious beast templates. At this moment, a pretty girl with a round face is awakening on the platform. Whoosh! A 3-meter-tall wolf king phantom emerges from the platform, its body powerful and its cold eyes sending chills down one's spine. Xie Mengxuan, S-rank wolf king template. A cold, mechanical voice echoes from the massive awakening platform in the center of the square. A flash of white light, and the round-faced girl's ears transform into wolf ears, a black wolf tail appears behind her, and her eyes become sharp. She's practically a beast girl, a fluffy beast ear girl. This is the beast ear girl form. Wow! She's actually S-rank. She's the strongest in our class this year, no doubt about it. No wonder she's an S-rank template who can transform into a beast ear girl. She's risen to the top. I'm so jealous. She seems to have a handsome boyfriend. She has both human and beast ear girl forms. I'm so envious of him. The neatly arranged students erupted in chatter. Xiao Ye, in Awakening Class 1, listened to the praise around him and couldn't help but look at the awakening platform. The round-faced girl, Xie Mengxuan, was his girlfriend. Students from the neighboring classes, regardless of their family background, swarmed around Xiao Ye, all enthusiastically congratulating him. Xiao Ye, your S-rank template girlfriend. After the contract, you'll both become wolf kings. You've taken off. Xiao Ye, come to lunch. Bring Xie Mengxuan, it's on me. Xiao Ye, I think I borrowed money from you last time, I'll pay you back right away. Xiao Ye, 139 yuan and 50 cents, it's been 4 days, 8 hours, 7 minutes, and 4 seconds, hurry up. Xiao Ye had transmigrated to this post-apocalyptic blue star, where monsters had invaded and the world's rules had drastically changed, for 18 years. Perhaps due to the mystery of his birth, he only awakened his memories of his previous life on Earth a week ago. After the memories merged, Xiao Ye didn't know whether to be overjoyed or sad. He was overjoyed because before transmigrating in his previous life, he had completely deleted his browser history and study materials. He was innocent on Earth. He was sad because in this world, monsters had invaded, and humanity was in grave danger, constantly at risk of being attacked by monster hordes outside the base city, and potentially losing his life at any moment. Since 1,000 years ago, human ancestors began to awaken ferocious beast templates. After forming contracts, they transformed into ferocious beasts, unleashing devastating power and gradually gaining the ability to fight against magical beasts, establishing fortified base cities that allowed people to live and thrive. On their 18th birthday, human girls awakened their ferocious beast templates, and human boys awakened their beast tamer talents. After forming contracts, they can transform into ferocious beasts together to fight against magical beasts. Ferocious beast templates are divided into D, C, B, A, S, SS, and SSS levels. Awakening an S level or higher ferocious beast template allows human girls to transform into beast ear girls, inheriting some of the beast's attributes. The higher the level, the more attributes are inherited. After Xiao Ye awakened his past life memories, he awakened a system called God-Level Beast Tamer, which currently has 3 functions: Beast Template Detection Function, Task Function, activated after awakening Beast Tamer, Summon Beast Form Upgrade Function, activated after contracting a Beast Ear Girl. Xiao Ye looked at his good brother and classmate Xie, who was known as the Devil School Beauty, SSS Level Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox Template, awakening required. Suddenly, the students surrounding him scattered, making way for Xie Mengxuan, a petite girl with a round face, who walked over arrogantly, raising her chin and disdainfully saying, Xiao Ye, let's break up. From now on, we are not from the same world anymore, you should know your place. You are no longer good enough for me. At this moment, Xie Mengxuan was like a proud white swan, easily abandoning Xiao Ye, who had been with her for 3 years. Upon hearing this, the students around her suddenly moved away from Xiao Ye. Just now he was so enthusiastic, but now he was cold and indifferent, as if he didn't know him at all. Did I owe him money? I borrowed it through my own abilities, why should I pay it back? Give him the hell out of here. The S-rank Beast template is probably the highest level template ever awakened at the 3 high schools. Xiao Ye isn't good enough for her. Based on past results, Xiao Ye being able to awaken an A-rank Beast Tamer talent is already a stroke of luck, and S-rank is really hard to say. Xiao Ye clenched his fists, looking at the petite Xie Mengxuan, and suddenly laughed. An S-rank Beast template, huh? Fine, let's break up. I hope you don't regret it. Xie Mengxuan chuckled, what a joke, me regretting it? Before Xie Mengxuan could finish speaking, the Devil School Beauty Cheng Bingxi, standing in front of Xiao Ye, did a backflip and jumped closer, her face slightly flushed, saying, Xiao Ye, be my boyfriend. Xiao Ye released his clenched fists, his smile bright, okay. Yay. Cheng Bingxi jumped up and cheered. Cheng Bingxi, Xiao Ye's deskmate for 3 years, had a close relationship with him, almost like brothers. This time, Cheng Bingxi must have come to his rescue after seeing her brother in trouble. Becoming his boyfriend? That's a stretch. As for why they were like brothers, TCH, just a piece of trash. Do you really think she's a treasure? The Devil School Beauty really thinks she's the school beauty, ha ha ha, I'm dying of laughter. Xie Mengxuan clutched her stomach, feigning laughter, her face full of mockery. Cheng Bingxi was tall and slender, with a perfect figure, golden proportions, and long legs. Her left cheek was as smooth as jade, so tender it seemed to drip water. But her right cheek had a large scar running from her forehead to her chin, looking grotesque and terrifying, a truly shocking sight. All the surrounding students glanced at Cheng Bingxi and immediately looked away, it was too frightening. If Cheng Bingxi hadn't suffered a permanent scar from the monster attack, disfiguring her entire face, she would undoubtedly be the most beautiful girl in the school. But ever since that monster attack in her first year of high school, and the terrifying scar that appeared, the label of devilish beauty had stuck to Cheng Bingxi. After that, everyone except her deskmate Xiao Ye distanced themselves from her. Ignoring their gazes, Cheng Bingxi raised her grotesque face, stubbornly glancing around at them, and when she looked at Xie Mengxuan, she let out a snort. Cheng Bingxi, prepare to awaken. Cheng Bingxi was called to the awakening platform to begin her awakening. Xie Mengxuan's face revealed a mocking smile. As Cheng Bingxi awakened, the sunlight dimmed, and a profound and noble aura surged from Cheng Bingxi, covering a radius of 10 kilometers. Melodious celestial music rippled through the air, and celestial flowers bloomed around her. Buzz! A gigantic 9-tailed fox, hundreds of meters tall, projected itself from Cheng Bingxi, causing the blooming celestial flowers to freeze in midair. Cheng Bingxi, SSS rank 9-tailed celestial fox template. A cold, mechanical voice emanated from the awakening platform. SSS rank? Xie Mengxuan's round face froze, her entire body stiffening, her fluffy wolf ears drooping. As expected, an SSS rank 9-tailed celestial fox template. The system didn't lie to me. Xiao Ye murmured. Xiao Ye. Form a contract with me. Cheng Bingxi, in her transformed beast ear girl form, rushed towards Xiao Ye from the awakening platform, bringing with her a delicate fragrance. She exuded a holy and noble aura, her small head adorned with 2 fluffy fox ears, and her outrageously beautiful white tail wagging joyfully. The shocking scar on her right cheek had completely disappeared, revealing a flawless, alabaster white face. The devilish school beauty reclaims the top spot on the school beauty ranking. Please collect, please read on. Chapter 2. I treated you like a brother, and you actually want to be my wife? What? You're serious? Xiao Ye was dumbfounded. His good brother Cheng Bingxi was just helping him out, so why did she want to form a contract with him? Wow. An SSS rank 9-tailed celestial fox template. There aren't many SSS rank 1s in the entire Dragon Kingdom. Damn, this beast ear girl is so beautiful, her face is flawless. The former number 1 school beauty is back. It's so infuriating. Xiao Ye is just a little taller than me, a little fairer than me, a little more handsome than me, so why are both of the school's most beautiful girls his girlfriends? The surrounding students were in an uproar, exclaiming in surprise. Of course it's true. What's wrong, Xiao Ye? Do you look down on me? Cheng Bingxi, hearing Xiao Ye's words, showed a hint of grievance in her beautiful eyes, and said angrily on her stunning face. How could I? But aren't we good brothers? After the contract, you'll be my wife. Xiao Ye scratched his head. I treat you like a brother, and you want to be my wife. In the era of beast girls, it's common knowledge that one person can only contract with one girl. A contract is equivalent to marriage, so it's extremely important, and boys and girls should rashly form contracts. To contract with another girl of the opposite sex, the contract must be broken, but breaking a contract comes at a huge price, and most people wouldn't do it. Seeing Xiao Ye hesitate, Cheng Bingxi stepped forward and took his arm, secretly pinching the soft flesh of his waist and rotating it 360 degrees. With a fierce yet adorable expression, she said, "Good brother? You really think there's pure friendship between men and women? That was just a delaying tactic, he." She continued, "A contract? You agree or you don't, or you're dead." Xiao Ye gasped in pain and said, "A contract? I agree. Cheng Bingxi, my wife." Only then did the beast-eared girl, Cheng Bingxi, release her grip, a blush rising on her flawless face. She said, "You're smart. Hurry up and awaken your Beast Tamer talent. Once you've awakened it, we can form a contract, he." Cheng Bingxi didn't care what level of Beast Tamer talent Xiao Ye would awaken. She only knew that Xiao Ye was the only friend, brother, and lover who hadn't distanced himself from her during their 3 years of high school. The principal is here, and the damn head of the grade is here too. Everyone, line up. Someone exclaimed, and the lazy line immediately became orderly. The head of the grade was usually very serious and extremely strict with students. He often implemented a hellish training program for the awakening class, even requiring students to request leave if they were injured. In the eyes of all the students in the awakening class, he was an old fogey and a stubborn old man, and they privately called him Dog Stubborn. As for the principal, he was a well-known figure in Mengxuan City. As a Grandmaster-level Beast Tamer, he once single-handedly repelled a beast that attacked 3rd High School, but he was left with scars and a lingering illness. Cheng Bingxi, wake up. As an SSS-level template holder, you are a pillar of the nation, bearing the destiny of fighting against magical beasts. You must contract a Beast Tamer with SS level or higher talent. The head of the grade reprimanded Cheng Bingxi as soon as he arrived. And you, Xiao Ye, shouldn't you be more sensible as a man? If you want to form a contract with Cheng Bingxi, you must awaken an SS level or higher Beast Tamer. But to be honest, you. Just as the stubborn headmaster was rambling on, the principal interrupted him, speaking kindly to Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, forming a contract is no small matter. Your parents must also be aware of it. How about you take a couple of days off? This, Cheng Bingxi's fluffy fox ears drooped, her beautiful eyes filled with pain. If it weren't for the principal saving her in her first year of high school, she would probably have perished in that monster attack, instead of standing here alive, though with scars on her face. Cheng Bingxi was caught in a painful dilemma. She didn't want to disappoint the principal, nor did she want to give up on Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye interjected, "I grew up in an orphanage. I'll agree to that. Grandpa Headmaster will respect my choice." Xiao Ye didn't back down. As long as Cheng Bingxi was willing to form a contract with him, no one else's words mattered. The head of the grade, his face stern, was about to unleash a torrent of abuse. "Xiao Ye, as the top student in academics, how did you pick up the bad habits of a student? And you're resisting the principal's orders. Agree to the principal's demands right now." Cheng Bingxi, hearing this, retorted angrily, "You stubborn dog. This is Xiao Ye's personal choice, you have no right to stop him." The head of the grade was stunned. This was the first time someone had dared to openly call him a stubborn dog, especially Cheng Bingxi. "What did you call me?" Cheng Bingxi touched her fox ears. "Stubborn dog, huh? Sorry, it just came out of my mouth, he." The head of the grade snorted coldly, "In short, you two can't hastily enter into a contract. With your awakened template level, this needs to be considered at the national level." The principal leaned closer to Xiao Ye, put his arm around his shoulder, and whispered, "Xiao Ye, don't be impulsive. Wait a couple of days, until Cheng Bingxi's parents have given their approval before entering into the contract. Don't worry, I'll compensate you." Xiao Ye considered it and wanted to refuse. He possessed a god-level Beast Tamer system, his awakened Beast Tamer talent would undoubtedly be high. Would he be unworthy of Cheng Bingxi? Impossible. Seeing that Xiao Ye didn't speak, the principal assumed he was hesitating and said, As long as you awaken an F rank or higher talent, I'll introduce my daughter to you, how about it? As he said this, the principal glanced at the head of the grade. What? Xiao Ye was surprised. An F rank talent was enough? Could it be that the principal's daughter hadn't awakened the Beast template at all? In this world, not everyone could awaken a Beast template and Beast Tamer talent. The probability was only about 50%. No need, principal. Cheng Bingxi's parents will agree, I guarantee it. Xiao Ye refused the principal's request and compensation. I think not. The head of the grade snorted coldly. Next, Xiao Ye, prepare to awaken, came the voice of the instructor beside the awakening platform. Hey. Ex-girlfriend Xie Mengxuan was overjoyed to see even the principal stop Xiao Ye from forming a contract with Cheng Bingxi. Xiao Ye, do you really think someone will take care of you? Don't you even know if you're worthy? She didn't want other men to pick up the trash Xie Mengxuan had discarded. Trash should stay in the trash heap. From the students' perspective, they also felt that it was impossible for Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi to form a contract. Just now they were envious, but now they were mocking each other. How could Xiao Ye possibly lay a finger on the #1 school beauty? She belongs to everyone. I was so scared, I thought I had to pay back that 129.05 yuan again. That's my meal money. I have a feeling that Xiao Ye will at most awaken a B-level Beast Tamer talent, which is enough to make him very successful in Mengxuan Base City. But contracting with Cheng Bingxi? Sorry, he's not worthy. Looking at the handsome figure on the awakening platform, the beast-eared girl Cheng Bingxi clenched her hands, her eyes filled with worry, her fluffy fox fur frozen in place. When Xiao Ye awakened through the awakening platform, the system panel lit up, God-level Beast Tamer awakening in progress. Whoosh! The sky above Mengxuan Base City suddenly darkened, and wisps of mysterious purple energy drifted in from the east, covering thousands of miles. Roar! Chirp! Gurgle! A 5-claw golden dragon soared through the purple aura, a war god white tiger leaped within it, a divine bird vermilion bird tumbled about, and a kunpeng swooped down as if to swallow the entire Mengxuan Base City whole. 9-tailed celestial foxes, divine beasts like the Teoti, divine tortoises like the Zuanwu, auspicious unicorns, and divine phoenixes were projected. Above Xiao Ye, celestial music resonated, and countless celestial flowers bloomed in unison. This spectacle was more than 10 times larger than Cheng Bingxi's. Purple aura stretched eastward for tens of thousands of miles, reflecting countless divine beasts from around the world. The enormous awakening platform resounded, Xiao Ye, SSS-Level Beast Tamer. Detection error, redetection, program overload, automatic shutdown. Chapter 3, Forming Contracts, Conceptual Talent Skills. The celestial phenomena and the awakening platform's test report stunned everyone present. From the principal to the grade head, and even the students, everyone was dumbfounded. On this day, purple aura stretched eastward for tens of thousands of miles, reflecting countless divine beasts. On this day, the world played music for Xiao Ye, and the rules blossomed for him. On this day, Xiao Ye awakened his SSS-level Beast Tamer talent, building a towering edifice from the ground, the beginning of a legend. Yay! Cheng Bingxi's worry vanished, and she jumped up in triumph. Stubborn dog, oh headmaster, do you think I can form a contract with Xiao Ye now? Cheng Bingxi winked mischievously at the stunned grade head. The head of the grade listened blankly to the awakening report from the awakening platform, muttering, SSS level, actually an SSS level Beast Master talent. As expected of my demanding student, Cheng Bingxi. Just as expected. The principal leaped over, grinning, yes. Who says no? Anyone who tries to stop me will have their legs broken. Cheng Bingxi glanced at the principal's slightly chubby legs, wondering if she should ask him to break them. Hearing the principal's words, the head of the grade shuddered, breaking out in a cold sweat, and said, the principal's right. Whether in the past or in the future, no one will stop you from forming a contract. Anyone who tries is a dog. Typical stubborn dog, with a severely entrenched class mentality, treating the principal's casual words as orders. The surrounding students, listening to the three's conversation, looked at the head of the grade with disdain. Seemingly sensing their disdain, the grade head glared at everyone and said, classmates, do you think Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi can form a contract? The students immediately blurted out, sure. SSS rank paired with SSS rank, a match made in heaven. That's right. A stubborn dog tried to stop us earlier, and I was puzzled too. Did they really want an S rank to form a contract with Xiao Ye? I've always had high hopes for Xiao Ye. He's first in the grade academically, so his awakened talent must be number 1 too. Yet, I still owe Xiao Ye 12,905 cents. I'll pay him back 10 times later, as a congratulatory gesture. Their attitude was completely different now. They spoke as if it were the most natural thing in the world. On the other side, Xie Mengxuan stood frozen in place, staring at Xiao Ye as he descended from the awakening platform in the distance. Her pupils were almost shrunk to a single point, and she muttered unconsciously, SSS-level Beast Tamer talent? Impossible. How could the trash-eye, Xie Mengxuan, discard be possible? Xie Mengxuan couldn't accept this fact. She had personally thrown away her boyfriend with SSS-level talent. From now on, everyone in the circle would think she was blind. No, 3 years of companionship are still there. As long as I apologize, Xiao Ye will definitely forgive me and form a contract with me. She had already transformed back into human form. The Beast Ear Girl form required energy to maintain, and at her current level, it could only last for about half an hour. As soon as Xiao Ye stepped into the area of Class 1 of Awakening, Xie Mengxuan, with her round face, rushed over and took his arm, saying, Xiao Ye, I was just joking with you earlier. Let's go shopping together after school. For the past 3 years, Xiao Ye had been very tolerant of her. She had made many small mistakes, and Xiao Ye had always cleaned up after her. Therefore, Xie Mengxuan believed that this time, Xiao Ye would forgive her willfulness as before and get back together with her. Xiao Ye pulled his arm away and took a step back, saying, You regret it, but it's too late. Xie Mengxuan rushed over forcefully and hugged Xiao Ye again, holding him tightly and not letting him let go, saying, Xiao Ye, didn't you want to go into the woods to play together? I'll go. Xiao Ye shook his head, No, I don't want to. Xie Mengxuan's lips curled up high as she pleaded, Don't you like bunny girl uniforms? I'll wear one for you. Oh, and flight attendant, teacher, cashier, bank manager, and students' uniforms too. Xiao Ye's gaze remained calm, his heart unmoved. He was a very pure young man. Xie Mengxuan stomped her foot and said, Didn't you want to tutor me at the hotel? I agreed. Xiao Ye shook his head again, his tone icy. We're over, Xie Mengxuan. Xie Mengxuan trembled, refusing to believe Xiao Ye would say that. Are you kidding me? You must be joking. Xie Mengxuan, please let go of Xiao Ye. A Beast Ear Girl lightly hopped over and easily pushed Xie Mengxuan away. As if asserting her dominance, the Beast Ear Girl leaned against Xiao Ye, her tone firm. Xiao Ye is my boyfriend, Cheng Bingxi's boyfriend, my contractor. The petite Xie Mengxuan stood before the tall Beast Ear Girl Cheng Bingxi, looking like a short, stout person. Her delicate round face couldn't compare to Cheng Bingxi's flawless, holy beauty. Looking at the long-legged, fox-eared Cheng Bingxi, and then at her own slightly chubby, short legs, Xie Mengxuan couldn't believe she felt a pang of inferiority. It was too late, she couldn't take him back. Whether dressed as a bunny girl, flight attendant, teacher, cashier, bank manager, or student, she couldn't compare to Cheng Bingxi. She herself had willingly pushed Xiao Ye towards Cheng Bingxi, towards this perfect, long-legged girl. She regretted it. Xie Mengxuan clutched her hair, feeling like she was going crazy, as if she had personally handed over $1 million lottery-winning ticket. Subsequently, Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi immediately formed a contract, becoming summoners of the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox. A feeling of merging between them arose. God-level Beast Tamer system, host, Xiao Ye, contract template 1, SSS rank Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, rank, unranked, summon Beast Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox form, 1 tail, talent skills, Divine Charm, forcibly puts the enemy's mind into a state of confusion for a certain period of time, area of effect skill, Divine Defection, forcibly implants a thought imprint, causing the enemy to change their attack target, single target skill, Summon Beast Form Upgrade Function, 1 tail, 0/100 evolution points, 2 tail form, Summon Beast's HP permanently increases by 1, randomly awakens a concept type talent skill, task function activated, after the host encounters an event. The system will issue a task. Completing the task will reward evolution points and rare items. Please add to your favorites. Please continue reading. Chapter 4 Youth Training Camp, System Mission, Beauty Pill. After the awakening platform restarted, 2 hours had passed by the time the remaining 9 classes of students had awakened. At this point, Cheng Bingxi was forced out of her Beast Ear Girl form and returned to her original human form. The principal summoned the 8 or 9 most talented boys and girls who had already formed contracts to the principal's office villa. In the office hall on the first floor of the villa, the boys and girls were seated, including Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan. There were 9 people in total. Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan were both SSS rank, Xie Mengxuan was an S rank, and the remaining 6 were all A rank talent beast tamers and girls who had awakened A rank ferocious beast templates. I awakened an A rank demonic eagle template and formed a contract with Zhang Jiang. What about you? An A rank flame python template. An A rank dream butterfly template. I wonder why the principal called us here. The 3 pairs of A rank students introduced themselves to each other. Xie Mengxuan snorted coldly. She was alone, yet the principal had summoned her. Hearing the cold snort, the 3 pairs of teenagers turned their gazes to Xie Mengxuan, then to Xiao Ye. With reverence and curiosity, they exclaimed, "Purple key rises 10,000 miles eastward, reflecting countless divine beasts. SSS-level talent Beast Tamer, Xiao Ye, my god. And Xie Mengxuan, you're amazing too." Their gazes fell on Xie Mengxuan, and suddenly, as if they had seen something terrifying, their pupils constricted sharply, and strange expressions appeared on their faces. The reverence in their eyes vanished, leaving only astonishment and a hint of disdain. In her human form, Xie Mengxuan still bore the same hideous, terrifying scar on her right cheek, a gaping wound from her forehead to her chin. Xie Mengxuan's beautiful eyes widened. They unconsciously lowered their heads, but the slight excitement in their expressions suggested they had found a sense of superiority in Xie Mengxuan. In terms of talent, they couldn't compare to Xie Mengxuan, but Xie Mengxuan would never be as whole as them. So what if you're an SSS level template? You'll still be showing that frightening scar for the rest of your life? Xie Mengxuan, my wife, there will be a way to heal your scar, Xiao Ye said with a warm smile. Xie Mengxuan's slightly depressed mood lifted, but when she looked up, she saw Xiao Ye staring intently at her right cheek. Instinctively, she turned her head away, not wanting him to see. She avoided his gaze and said softly and uncertainly, "It will." With her large scar, Xie Mengxuan was stubborn, brave, and indifferent to others, but facing Xiao Ye, she panicked and became insecure. She was afraid Xiao Ye would be too concerned about that frightening scar. She was afraid she wasn't good enough for Xiao Ye. In front of Xiao Ye, she wanted to transform into her beast-eared girl form, becoming the flawless, holy, and noble fox-eared girl, Xie Mengxuan. PFFT. Xie Mengxuan burst out laughing, her face revealing undisguised smugness and excitement. However, in the principal's office, Xie Mengxuan only dared to mock, despise, be excited, and smug. A piece of trash is a piece of trash. Once she's out of her beast-eared girl form, she's nothing. She thought excitedly to herself. Is everyone here? Let me introduce you. This is a second-year student who dropped out of Mengxuan Academy. He possesses S-rank Beast Tamer talent and has already reached the 2nd tier. However, his contractor sacrificed himself in an accident. Now he wants to retake the college entrance exam. Let's give him a round of applause. The principal, carrying a briefcase, brought in a bald young man and enthusiastically introduced him as soon as he entered. Clap, clap, clap. Everyone applauded enthusiastically. S-rank, 2nd tier, contractor sacrificed, retaking the college entrance exam. Even Xiao Ye was a little surprised. A second-year student already in university, a college, can retake the college entrance exam? This isn't Earth, it's a post-apocalyptic blue planet overrun by magical beasts. The principal looked at Xie Mengxuan and said, "Xie Mengxuan, you two can get to know each other. If you feel it's a good fit, you can form a contract." The bald youth suddenly asked with great curiosity, "Principal, I heard that a girl at number 3 high school awakened an SSS level template today. Who is she?" The principal pointed to Xie Mengxuan and said, "Xie Mengxuan awakened an SSS level template, but she has already formed a contract with Xiao Ye." The bald youth looked over curiously, but suddenly saw Xie Mengxuan's shocking right cheek. His smile froze, and his lips twitched as he said, "This student is a bit special." The bald youth then sat down next to Xie Mengxuan and began to chat quietly with her. The principal surveyed the office, nodded in satisfaction, and said calmly, "Our Mengxuan-based city has ranked last for 10 consecutive years in the Inter-Based City College Entrance Examination, a competition among the city's elite. This year, to prepare for the exam, Mengxuan-based city has decided to launch a college entrance examination training camp, intensifying efforts to cultivate the most outstanding students in all the high school awakening classes in Mengxuan Base City, all for the sake of. The principal paused, then continued with great enthusiasm and inspiration, to escape the last place title and strive to reach second to last. The students present were shocked. Second to last, and they needed to strive? The students looked at the principal with skeptical eyes. Are you kidding us? Ahem. The principal suddenly smiled and said, "Don't worry, everyone. As far as I know, today, both number 1 and number 3 high schools have awakened S-level templates and talents, and more than one. This year, our Mengxuan Base City, after launching the college entrance examination training camp, will definitely rank second to last among all the major base cities in the Dragon Kingdom in terms of college entrance examination results. It's not impossible for us to even rank third to last." The principal was even happier as he spoke. Ranking third to last meant receiving far more resources from above than second to last. Xiao Ye interjected, "Principal, be confident and bring back first place." The principal rolled his eyes at Xiao Ye speechlessly. "Xiao Ye, don't interrupt. Third to last was only a possibility, with a probability of less than 50%. As for first place, only super base cities like the Imperial Capital Base City and the Magic City Base City, which produce countless geniuses, could even dream of achieving that. You are all students from the 3 high schools. In the college entrance examination training camp, you must unite and help each other. As a team, I, as the principal, appoint Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan as captain and vice captain, respectively. Do you have any objections?" "No objections. I agree. It should be so." The 3 pairs of A-level template contractors raised their hands in agreement. But a jarring voice came from the back row. It was the bald young man. "Wait. I have an objection. Xie Mengxuan has already agreed to form a contract with me, and my realm is second tier. The strongest in the team must be Mengxuan and me. We should be the captains." The principal paused. The bald youth then said, "As far as I know, tomorrow is the day we enter the youth training camp. So I suggest that after everyone gathers tomorrow, we have a match between our summoned beasts and Xiao Ye's. Whoever wins will be the captain. How about that?" Contact event. Mission triggered. Mission: defeat the Tier 2 Jingren Wolf King and become the captain of the top 3 teams. Reward: rare beauty pill, 100 evolution points. Beauty pill, as the name suggests, it restores one's appearance to perfect state, a divine pill coveted by women. Evolution points can be used to upgrade summoned beast forms. Claim. No penalty for refusing to claim, no penalty for mission failure. Next chapter title: Meeting Parents, Entering the Bridal Chamber, Wedding Night. Chapter 5: Meeting the Parents and Entering the Bridal Chamber. A beauty pill that can restore one's appearance to its perfect state? Xiao Ye was overjoyed. He desperately needed this at this stage, so he accepted the quest. Furthermore, 100 evolution points were enough to upgrade his summoned beast's form by 1 level. That would be incredibly powerful. Summoned beast form upgrade function: 1 tail, 0/100 evolution points. 2 tail description: permanently increases the summoned beast's life by 1. Randomly awakens a conceptual talent skill. Life increased by 1. A conceptual talent skill. A conceptual talent skill. Is it something like 100% guaranteed to catch a blade barehanded, 100% guaranteed to be caught barehanded, 100% guaranteed hit by the spear of destiny, words becoming law, lies becoming truth, 100% guaranteed jinx? Principal, I agreed to his proposal. Xiao Ye stood up, his gaze fixed on the bald youth. The principal nodded in agreement. Then let's do it that way. Xiao Ye, you haven't reached the next level yet, just do your best. Clap clap clap. The bald youth clapped slowly, saying with interest, knowing it's a trap, you still jumped in. I don't know if you're blindly confident or just stupid. I admire your courage a little, but I hope you won't lose too badly tomorrow and have your confidence crushed. The bald youth was extremely confident. He was now at the 2nd level, and even if Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan summoned SSS-level ferocious beasts, they couldn't make up for the level difference. Xie Mengxuan became proud again. The bald youth had given her confidence. This was also why she agreed to form a contract with him. The principal then opened his briefcase and awarded everyone the excellent awakening rewards. An A-level reward was 1 first-level magical beast core, an S-level reward was 3 first-level magical beast cores, and an SSS-level reward was 9 first-level magical beast cores. Before everyone left, The principal also told them that there were plenty of resources at the youth training camp, and whoever performed well could get them. Walking down the street, Cheng Bingxi put on a half-face fox mask. Xiao Ye, where do you want to go tonight? Back to the orphanage, Cheng Bingxi. My wife? No, you don't want to. Ah, right, I don't want to go back. Then where do I want to go? The grove? Xiao Ye asked. Cheng Bingxi shook her head. The summoning beast inn? Xiao Ye asked. Cheng Bingxi shook her head again. Then where do I really want to go? Why don't you name a place and see if we want to go the same thing? Xiao Ye said. Cheng Bingxi smiled sweetly. Come to my house. Xiao Ye clapped his hands instinctively. Isn't that a coincidence? I also want to go to your, Go to your house? Xiao Ye was a little dumbfounded. To spend the night at your house? Cheng Bingxi grabbed Xiao Ye's hand and ran towards her house. Yes, we've already made a contract. Why live separately? There's still the absorption of crystal cores for cultivation. I'll take you to meet my parents. Let me tell you, although my dad is a bit, well, he'll definitely accept you. Xiao Ye felt a little uneasy. He's hard to talk to? A strange look flashed in Cheng Bingxi's eyes. Yes, he's old-fashioned. This made Xiao Ye feel a little uneasy. Xiao Ye took the 129.05 yuan his classmate had given him that afternoon, bought a bottle of wine for 99 yuan, and hastily entered Cheng Bingxi's house. When Cheng Bingxi's father's face came into view, Xiao Ye's pupils shrank. Director. It's you? Xiao Ye exclaimed. Haha, Xiao Ye, surprised? The head of the grade was Cheng Keek, Cheng Bingxi's father. No wonder the head of the grade used national righteousness to pressure Cheng Bingxi this afternoon. They were family all along. Xiao Ye instantly understood. Director, I've already made a contract with Bingxi. Xiao Ye looked at the head of the grade, Cheng Keek, expectantly. Cheng Keek laughed loudly, not as stubborn as he seemed at home, and said, I agree. An SSS-level Beast Tamer talent is enough to match my daughter. You were born in an orphanage, and I raised you to be the top student in the grade. I've seen your relationship with Bingxi over the past 3 years. From now on, call me father-in-law. Father-in-law. This is some wine I brought for you. Xiao Ye became composed. He guessed that the head of the grade had been implementing a hellish training program for the awakening class for the past 2 years because of Cheng Bingxi's facial injury. Only by teaching students how to face magical beasts, how to fight, how to escape, and how to adapt to changing circumstances could they avoid suffering too much harm. At that moment, Xiao Ye suddenly felt that the head of the grade was great, and his gaze towards him held a hint of respect. Cheng Keek pushed Xiao Ye's hand away, saying, Why did you bring anything? Students don't have much money, no need. As he spoke, he gestured for Xiao Ye to put the wine in the wine cabinet. Xiao Ye put the wine there, and Cheng Keek smiled even more happily, saying as he locked the wine cabinet with 3 locks, Really, no need. This bottle of wine must be over 100, you can take it back when you leave tomorrow. Xiao Ye's mind raced. You've already locked it with 3 locks, and you still want me to take it back? Are you kidding me? Half an hour later, the 4 of them finished eating, and except for Cheng Keek and his wife's room, all the other rooms were lit up with festive red ambient lights. Xiao Ye was directly pushed into Cheng Bingxi's room by Cheng Keek. Cheng Bingxi was pushed into the bathroom by her mother, who threw her a simple red dress. Cheng Bingxi opened it and was dumbfounded. It was actually a red wedding dress, with a red veil underneath. What was this all about? Half an hour later, Cheng Bingxi, dressed in a wedding gown, walked out looking puzzled. Her parents immediately pulled her into the living room. What do you want to do tonight? Yan Qingqing, Cheng Bingxi's mother, asked. Sleep. No, you don't want to. Oh, then what do I want to do? Cultivate and level up? Cheng Bingxi was full of questions. No, you don't want to. Think carefully about what you want to do, Yan Qingqing said. Summon the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox with Xiao Ye? Cheng Bingxi's eyes lit up. Very close. Think again about what you want to do, Yan Qingqing said. Cheng Bingxi glanced down at her red wedding dress, her pretty face suddenly flushing slightly. She exclaimed in realization, So, I wanted to go to the bridal chamber. Yes. What a coincidence. You and I thought the same thing, daughter. Yan Qingqing laughed, pushing Cheng Bingxi directly into her bedroom. As they walked, she said, In the era of beast girls, making a contract is like getting a marriage certificate. There are no formalities. Today is your wedding day. Enjoy your time while you can. You won't have this much leisure after the college entrance exam back then, Cheng Qi and I. Bang! After pushing Cheng Bingxi inside, Yan Qingqing locked the door from the outside, threw the key into the toilet, flushed, and left. Isn't that too fast? The great head, Cheng Qi, frowned as he watched from the side. Yan Qingqing glared at him. It was bound to happen sooner or later. What, are you trying to break them up? No way. Hey, let me tell you, when Xiao Ye awakened his Beast Tamer talent, the phenomena were incredible. Purple aura covered all three realms, illuminating countless divine beasts. I saw it. I was in the library at the time, and suddenly it got dark. When I went out, I was so shocked. In the festive boudoir, Cheng Bingxi, wearing a red veil, sat gracefully in a chair at the table, not moving. Xiao Ye walked over and was about to lift the veil when Cheng Bingxi stopped him. Wait. I don't want to face you like this. Beast girl form. Cheng Bingxi's aura instantly became holy and noble, her fluffy fox tail peeking out from behind the chair, swaying shyly. Only then did Xiao Ye lift the veil. Chapter 6 Breaking through the first tire, defeating the Wolf King. That scar had become an insurmountable obstacle in Cheng Bingxi's heart, especially after she formed a contract with Xiao Ye. She became even more concerned about it. Xiao Ye saw all this and kept it in mind. After a restless night, at 6 o'clock the next morning, Xiao Ye was woken up by Cheng Bingxi, who had already returned to human form. Xiao Ye, wake up quickly, we should cultivate, don't forget we still have to compete with a bald man today. Xiao Ye was shaken awake by this special wake-up service. Then the two took out the 10 first-tier magical beast crystal cores that the principal had rewarded them with. The two exchanged a glance and immediately activated the power of their contract, summoning the nine-tailed celestial fox. Whoosh! A supreme aura surged in the small boudoir, and a crystal-clear, dreamlike color descended. A holy, noble, and mysterious white fox seemed to be pulled from the two-dimensional world into reality, standing vividly on the ground. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi's bodies disappeared, their consciousnesses coexisting within the holy white fox in the one-tail form of the nine-tailed celestial fox. Reflected in the mirror were the white fox's beautiful, intelligent eyes, as deep as the starry sky. Two tiny, blood-sucking mosquitoes, their eyes gleaming with excitement, eagerly approached to suck her blood. Divine defection forcibly instills a mental imprint, causing the enemy to change their target, single target skill. Just as the white fox's one-tailed form's eyes flashed, one of the mosquitoes abruptly stopped, then raised its sharp proboscis and lunged at the other, catching it off guard and stinging it squarely. The blood-sucking mosquito, as if injected with steroids, unleashed 10 times its attack speed, draining the other mosquito dry before pop, its abdomen burst. Both perished. I've wanted to deal with these two mosquitoes for a while, but I had important business to attend to yesterday. Today, I finally got rid of them. In the white fox's one-tailed form's consciousness, Xiao Ye chuckled. Cheng Bingxi blushed and urged, stop playing around, hurry up and absorb the crystal cores to cultivate. Then, under Xiao Ye's control, the holy white fox directly threw a crystal core into its mouth, crunched it a few times, and swallowed it. Both of them had learned a modified magical beast cultivation method at school, but before they even activated it, they felt a surge of pure energy flow into their bodies and instantly disappear. With a poof, they felt their power increase. Nine-tailed celestial fox, one-tail form, white fox, Tier 1, the SSS level template is terrifying. Looking at the system panel that only he could see, Xiao Ye thought to himself. Then, they crunched and swallowed the remaining 9 Tier 1 magical beast crystal cores, chewing them like potato chips. It was incredibly crunchy, a texture Cheng Bingxi loved. Now, taking advantage of the extra energy, the two activated their cultivation method, and after a few minutes, stopped cultivating and exited their summoned beast forms. Nine-tailed celestial fox, one-tail form, white fox, mid-tier 1, afternoon. 3rd high school, principal's office villa, backyard. Yesterday, all 10 awakening class students arrived, including Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. The principal, accompanied by 5 pairs of contractors, boasted about the decorations in the backyard. The backyard, spanning several hundred square meters, was covered with dazzlingly beautiful flowers, and on its main veins grew numerous translucent fruits. A fragrant aroma filled the courtyard, a single breath refreshed the students, and the fruits seemed to possess an irresistible allure, drawing them closer. The principal, with obvious delight, carefully tended to the leaves on the main veins, ensuring the fruits received ample sunlight. A rare spiritual plant, the demon fruit. A beautiful yet dangerous and eerie magical plant. The bald youth, Jingran, exclaimed in amazement. This thing requires the heart's blood of a grandmaster-level magical beast to take root, sprout, and grow. That's right. The principal looked at the grown demon fruit with great satisfaction and introduced it. 2 years ago, magical beasts attacked 3rd high school. I used all my strength to kill a grandmaster-level magical beast. Since then, my foundation has been damaged, and my cultivation level has regressed. This demon fruit was cultivated with the heart's blood of that grandmaster-level magical beast, and it has grown to this day, blossoming and bearing fruit. It has great sentimental value for me. In the fragrant courtyard, each pair of contractors was moved by the scene and embraced each other. Xiao Ye hugged Cheng Bingxi, who was wearing half a fox mask, and said, "If we have the chance, let's plant one too and cultivate it together." Cheng Bingxi looked longingly and nodded repeatedly, "Okay." The principal was very satisfied with these scenes and felt that these contractors got along very well. However, when he saw the bald youth, he couldn't help but frown. The bald young man tried to take Xie Mengxuan's hand, but she immediately dodged, keeping a distance of at least a meter. The bald young man gave an awkward smile, a bitter look on his face, and for the first time, he began to doubt his own looks. Wasn't his reflective head handsome? Wasn't this non-mainstream style incredibly cool? In this prestigious university, he attracted a 100% head-turning rate every day he walked around campus. Even the campus goddesses said his hairstyle was particularly stylish and interesting. Unable to understand, Jingran shifted his attention, arrogantly addressing Xiao Ye. "Xiao Ye, according to our agreement, we're to have a match today. A true man knows when to yield and when to stand firm. If you voluntarily admit defeat, I'll acknowledge you as a man. Don't let a crushing defeat discourage you. If you want to compete, then compete. What's with all the whining? Trying to show off your abilities?" Xiao Ye scoffed. "Principal, you be the referee, let's have a match." HMPH. Xie Mengxuan sneered. "You really don't know what's good for you." The principal nodded. "Alright, this courtyard is several hundred square meters, enough for you to perform. Let's compete here. Jingran, you've already reached the 2nd tier, while Xiao Ye is probably just barely at the 1st tier threshold. Be careful not to hurt anyone." The bald youth, Jingran, and Xie Mengxuan activated their contract power, summoning an S-rank template Wolf King together. With a chilling woo sound, a violent force appeared around them. Jingran and Xie Mengxuan vanished, replaced by a Wolf King with black fur gleaming coldly. The 2-meter-tall Wolf King, symbolizing hunting and power, stood on all fours, radiating a ferocious aura that caused the surrounding air to surge. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi also activated their contract power, summoning an SSS-level template Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox. As a magnificent phenomenon descended, a one-tailed white fox, exuding a sacred aura, appeared opposite the black wolf. The 2-meter-tall Wolf King looked down at the half-meter-tall white fox, its eyes flashing with disdain, and immediately launched an attack, swiftly rushing towards the white fox. A peak-level 1st-tier Wolf King versus a mid-level 1st-tier white fox. Talent skill, Nighttime Mystery. Increases speed by more than 4 times. The black wolf flashed past like a phantom, its speed reaching its limit, and everyone thought the outcome was already decided. Slow, too slow. In the eyes of the one-tailed white fox, it was as if it had activated dynamic vision. The black wolf's approaching figure was clearly visible, and every step it took could be seen. Divine charm causes the enemy's mind to become confused for a certain period of time. A glint flashed in the white fox's deep, starry eyes. The black wolf had been hit. Its eyes became unfocused, its face blank, and it leaped over Xiao Ye, crashing into a wall dozens of meters away due to the momentum of its rapid movement. The A-level contractors were shocked. Is the Wolf King nearsighted? The white fox is just standing there without attacking? Is this some kind of novel technique? The principal, somewhat knowledgeable, exclaimed in surprise. The black wolf has been hit by a skill. Next chapter title, After taking the beauty pill, Cheng Bingxi's passion burns. Chapter 7 After taking the beauty pill, Cheng Bingxi's passion burned like fire. The battle continued, divine defection, forcibly instilling a mental imprint, causing the enemy to change their target. Under Xiao Ye's control, a glint flashed in the white fox's eyes again, and a mysterious ray struck the black wolf. Woo woo woo. The black wolf's mind snapped back to reality, and it rushed to the edge of the wall, relentlessly tearing and hacking at the mallow fruit flowers. Silently, they completely mistook the morrow fruit for the white fox. Looking at the defenseless white fox, Jingran and Xie Mengxuan were extremely pleased. HMPH. That's not enough. Nighttime mystery, maximum power. Increased speed six-fold. The black wolf tore and hacked at the morrow fruit even more vigorously. Seeing his beloved spiritual plant destroyed, the principal's eyes widened, his face changing drastically as he roared, "Jingran, have you lost your mind? Do you want to die?" Then, the principal laughed in exasperation. This guy is even more enthusiastic now. The demon fruit isn't just an ornamental spiritual plant. Black Wolf is going to suffer. The contractors were shocked by Black Wolf's performance. Was he out of his mind? At this moment, the demon fruit flower changed color, turning pitch black, releasing some kind of toxin. The branches surged, tightly wrapping around Black Wolf, and barbs grew out, tightening the coils. Ow! Black Wolf let out an incredibly shrill scream, chilling everyone to the bone. Ow! 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 Black Wolf screamed for a full 2 minutes before the principal finally pulled him out. A minute later, Jingran and Xie Mengxuan collapsed to the ground, pale-faced and panting heavily. "We admit defeat. Xiao Ye, I'm no match for you," Jingran said weakly. Xie Mengxuan's eyes were filled with despair. She had actually lost. Jingran, at the second tier, along with the newly advanced Xiao Ye, only managed to summon a wolf king that was at the peak of the first tier. Xie Mengxuan pointed at Xiao Ye in shock, saying, "You guys have already reached the peak of the first tier? How long has it been? Holy crap, breaking through from 0 to the peak of the first tier in just 1 day, awesome. So amazing? We haven't even entered the first tier yet. I estimated it would take a week to enter the first tier, and Xiao Ye only took 1 day? Amazing." The other 3 pairs of contractors were extremely shocked. Jingran's eyes widened, and he questioned, "Impossible, even an SSS level couldn't reach the peak of the first tier in 1 day. He, at the S tier, had taken half a year to reach the peak of the first tier." The principal speculated, Xiao Ye and Chengbixi's current level should be at the mid-first tier, so they used an SSS level white fox to crush the peak first tier wolf king. PFFT. Jingran spat out a mouthful of blood upon hearing this. He had also taken a month or 2 to reach the mid-first tier. After everyone rested for an hour, led by Xiao Ye and Chengbingxi, the 12-member team from the 3 high schools boarded the steel train heading to the college entrance examination training camp. The train has 3 carriages, each housing the top students from first high school, second high school, and third high school respectively. In the era of Beast Girls, some modern industries have been preserved, such as trains, the internet, mobile phones, and computers. Mission completed, please claim your reward. Reward successfully claimed. 100 evolution points. Beauty pill in your pocket. Looking at the round pill in his pocket, Xiao Ye pulled Chengbingxi into the train's restroom and locked it. Chengbingxi was cornered against the wall by Xiao Ye, her face slightly flushed. She had been wall-pinned. "Xiao Ye, don't do anything rash, it's still daytime." Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile as he reached out and lifted Chengbingxi's fair chin, saying, "Then how is it not rash? Wait until it gets dark." Chengbingxi nodded subconsciously, then shook her head, before shyly saying, "Oh, whatever you want." Xiao Ye stuffed the pill into Chengbingxi's mouth, making her swallow. "What is this? It melts in my mouth instantly, it has no taste at all." Chengbingxi found it amazing. Xiao Ye removed half of Chengbingxi's fox mask and made her face a mirror. Chengbingxi covered her beautiful eyes with her hands, unable to look. Huh? She suddenly felt an itch on her right cheek and reached up to scratch it. But the side of her right cheek made her eyes widen. "Xiao Ye, what happened?" To her astonishment, the huge scar slowly peeled away, revealing a delicate, fair face. Once the huge scar was completely gone, her right cheek became as flawless and delicate as her left. Wow! Chengbingxi's red lips gaped open in shock, wide enough to fit an egg. The effects of the beauty pill were far more than that. Her skin was even more radiant and fair than before, her hair even blacker and shinier, and her eyes, like autumn water, even more sparkling. Xiao Ye watched from the side, extremely satisfied with the effects of the beauty pill. As the scars faded, a few tears welled in Chengbingxi's eyes. The indelible knot in her heart instantly melted away. She jumped onto Xiao Ye and kissed him. "Xiao Ye, I love you to death. Cheng Bingxi's face was beaming with joy. She was so happy, she hadn't felt so carefree in 2 years. She felt that Xiao Ye was her soulmate. Xiao Ye interjected, "Don't do anything rash. Now is not the time." Cheng Bingxi was burning with passion, oblivious to everything else. In the train carriage, Jingran and Xie Mengxuan, who had been force-fed 2 large bottles of nutrient solution by the principal, were angrily talking to the train conductor. "Why can't we leave our seats to use the restroom?" The train conductor stared indifferently at the 2 of them. "The restroom in this carriage is already occupied. Only 2 people can leave their seats at a time. Please wait patiently, they'll be out soon." Jingran felt like Jill was about to explode, but he held it in and reassured Xie Mengxuan, "Then let's wait a bit, 10 minutes at most, it'll be our turn." Xie Mengxuan glared at him and didn't say anything more. Half an hour later, the train safely arrived at the youth training camp. At this time, Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi came out of the restroom and saw Xie Mengxuan rushing in anxiously. Just as Jingran was about to follow, bang! The restroom door was locked from the inside. Fine, is this how you play?" Jingran's face turned purple, so he had to rush off the train and find a big tree to relieve himself. At this time, the top students from number 2 high school and number 1 high school, who had already gotten off the train, saw the figure rushing into the forest, and someone couldn't help but say, "Is he here to take a dump?" Everyone fell silent. "That's a guy from number 3 high. I remember number 3 high had a devilish school beauty, but I went to number 3 high several times and never saw her. What's so interesting about her? 2 years ago, a monster attacked number 3 high, her face was ruined, and she fell from her pedestal as the school beauty. Number 3 high seems to have a guy with a terrifying awakening phenomenon. I wonder if he'll come to the youth training camp. Number 2 high has 6 pairs of contractors, and number 1 high has 5 pairs, a total of 23 people." At this moment, Xiao Ye, holding Cheng Bingxi's small hand, led the prodigies of number 3 high out of the train. The eyes of everyone below the train suddenly focused on Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. Wow! A stunning beauty. Who said her face was ruined? Impossible, absolutely impossible. I secretly checked her out at number 3 high school. That beauty is incredible. Only our number 1 high school beauty queen can compare. Holy crap, this young man, is he the contractor of the devilish school beauty? I'm so jealous. As the boys from number 1 and number 2 high school exclaimed in surprise, the proud girls who had formed contracts with them were displeased and activated their family emperor reminder spell. Ouch! Who pinched me? Oh, it's you, wife. I'm sorry. Ouch! That really hurts. I won't do it again, I really won't. The next chapter will feature the protagonist's new contractor, guaranteed to be interesting. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8 Nangguang Xiao, SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon Template. At this moment, a rather muscular high school student dropped his contractor and approached Cheng Bingxi alone. He extended his hand and smiled. "Hello, I'm Yi Luren, a student from number 1 high school, an S-rank tiger template. It's nice to meet you." Cheng Bingxi didn't shake his hand, but instead held Xiao Ye's arm, saying, "Cheng Bingxi, this is my contractor, Xiao Ye." The muscular boy, Yi Luren, froze for a moment, a hint of gloom flashing in his eyes. However, after withdrawing his hand, he smiled again. "You'll get to know me." His tone was firm. Just then, a beautiful figure came from behind, blocking Yi Luren's path. She pointed at the contractor he had dropped and said with disdain, "Yi Luren, you don't want your own wife anymore, you're going to flirt with other beauties." Yi Luren chuckled awkwardly and went back. The beautiful figure greeted Cheng Bingxi and Xiao Ye. "Let me introduce myself. My name is Nangguang Xian, a C-rank dragon template." Her features were exquisite, her skin like jade, and her 1.7-meter height was accentuated by a purple ancient robe, highlighting her ethereal and refined, Qi, inherent quality temperament. Most importantly, her enormous figure, seemingly about to burst the robe, was incredibly striking. This was a perfect example of a slender branch bearing a large fruit. "Xiao Ye, this is Cheng Bingxi." Xiao Ye looked at this stunningly beautiful girl, whose looks were in no way inferior to Cheng Bingxi's, but in some aspects, even surpassed her. However, a C-rank dragon template? How could she be in the youth training camp? I know you guys, the beautiful Nangguang Sihan exclaimed excitedly. You're the Xiao Ye who brings purple energy from the east for 10,000 miles, illuminating countless divine beasts, and you're the SSS rank Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox template Cheng Bingxi. You're both so awesome. You're awesome too. Xiao Ye glanced at the enormous figure and thought to himself. Wow, so it's Xiao Ye. Honey, look. He's an SSS-level Beast Tamer, so handsome. That purple aura phenomenon was really amazing. It darkened the sky in our number 2 high school's awakening plaza. A phenomenon? We had one at number 1 high school too. When our school beauty, Nangguang Xiao, awakened, the phenomenon was enormous, but unfortunately, it turned out to be a C-level dragon template. The top students from number 1 and number 2 high schools were buzzing with discussion. A school beauty, an enormous phenomenon, a C-level template? Xiao Ye sensed something was off, so he used the system's detection function to examine this fruitful girl. Huh? Nangguang Xiao, SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon Template, Blue Star Rules Incomplete. The template did not absorb enough rule fragment crystals during awakening. Currently sealed. Contractor, none. Xiao Ye stared intently at the panel, completely shocked. An SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon? The same level as Cheng Bingxi's 5 Claw Golden Dragon template. It's a pity it's sealed, but she hasn't formed a contract with a male yet. Seeing Xiao Ye's undisguised, fixed gaze on Nangguang Xiao's enormous member, Cheng Bingxi couldn't help but employ the family throne reminder method, pinching the soft flesh at his waist and performing a 720-degree invincible spin. Ouch! Xiao Ye cried out in pain, and Cheng Bingxi gritted her teeth, saying, Is it beautiful? Beautiful. Of course, it was beautiful on the system panel. Xiao Ye chuckled. Cheng Bingxi stomped her foot angrily. She was angry because she looked down and saw the back of her foot. Nangguang Xiao felt a warm feeling watching this scene. This was the bond between family members, but unfortunately, she didn't have it. She deeply remembered the characteristic of the SSS-level talent Beast Tamer Xiao Ye, who liked to look at fruitful results, and returned to the group at number 1 high school. Since Xiao Ye appeared, he has peaked 6 times, the longest lasting 10 seconds, Nangguang Xiao murmured to herself. However, she didn't think it was too much, compared to the drooling, pig-like boys at number 1 high school. Xiao Ye's actions were very mild and almost negligible. Xiao Ye knew what she was thinking and would loudly proclaim, I'm innocent. I was looking at the system panel. Then, led by the 3 captains, the group of prodigies headed towards the gate of the youth training camp. There, 2 welcoming teams in military uniforms were already waiting, 1 male and 1 female. Suddenly, the muscular young man, Yi Luren, ran towards the welcoming team captain, said something to him, and the captain bowed and scraped respectfully, glancing in Xiao Ye's direction. Just as everyone was about to enter the youth training camp, they were stopped by the uniformed welcoming team. Wait? The group was forced to stop, their eyes filled with confusion. The uniformed welcoming team captain glanced around, then a smirk appeared on his lips. So you're the prodigies the base city is so eager to cultivate? If you want to enter the training camp today, you'll have to pass my test. The welcoming team members whispered among themselves, this test isn't in the rules, is it? If it's not there, then add it. This training ground originally belongs to our city guard, but we have to give it up to them, making us the welcoming team, the order maintenance team, and the examiners. That's right, we need to let them know how hard won this training camp is, otherwise we'll have wasted a month of our time. The 3 high school prodigies thought this was normal procedure and stopped. The welcoming team captain was satisfied and said, 3 teams from 3 high schools. As long as your captains can hold out against us for even a minute, you pass. Otherwise, you'll have to spend the night in the wilderness. Of course, also press my cultivation level to the 1st tier. If you pass the test, each team member will be rewarded with a 1st tier crystal core. Now, team captains, step forward. The captains of the 3 high schools were Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. The captain of the 2nd high school was a chubby boy and a girl, and the captain of the 1st high school was Nangguang Xiao, only one person? Seeing the captain stepping forward, the welcoming team captain frowned and said to the beautiful girl, why is there only one person? Where is your contractor? Nangguang Xiao smiled and said, reporting, sir, I don't have a contractor. However, I hope you will let our 3 teams in. I will personally give you 36 first-tier crystal cores. Upon hearing this, the welcoming team captain's pupils shrank. Who is this person? So arrogant. The welcoming team's vice captain, who is also his contractor, whispered in his ear, "This is the young princess of Mengxuan Base City, the daughter of the Grandmaster level city lord, Nangguang Xiao." Hiss. The welcoming team captain gasped. Such a powerful background. Would he be resented for adding the test on his own? Just as he was feeling anxious, the system's voice sounded in Xiao Ye's mind. Host triggered, event detected, mission triggered, defeat Tier 1 welcoming captain, reward 100 evolution points, rule fragment crystal, a crystal formed after the world's rules are broken, which can be used to supplement the deficiencies in the personal template's rules. Accept mission? No penalty for refusing, no penalty for mission failure, rule crystal. Xiao Ye was quite surprised by this reward. It could be used to remove the template seal on the fruitful girl, Nangguang Xiao. After the seal is removed, it will be a 5-claw golden dragon. A legendary Eastern dragon, both in the past life and in this apocalypse. System, accept mission, congratulations, host, mission accepted successfully. Even with a rule crystal, Xiao Ye wouldn't give it to her for free, unless the fruitful girl. Xiao Ye chuckled, thinking to himself, Nangguang Xiao, you don't want to use a C-grade template for the rest of your life, do you? Chapter 9. The officer is in such good health, he fell asleep as soon as his head hit the pillow. The reward for defeating Jing Ran was 100 evolution points, which Xiao Ye planned to use to upgrade his summon beast, the White Fox. That would add an extra life and a concept-based talent skill. Summon beast form upgrade function, Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, 1 tail, 0/100 evolution points, 100. Xiao Ye swiped the evolution points, and the system panel changed to Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox, 2 tails, 0/200 evolution points. At the same time, Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan simultaneously felt a profound understanding emerge in their minds. Talent skills, Divine Charm, causes the enemy's mind to enter a state of confusion for a certain period. AoE skill, Divine Defection, forcibly instills a thought imprint, causing the enemy to change their attack target. Single target skill, Absolute True Damage, any physical attack dealt ignores the enemy's defense, causing true damage. This is awesome. Xiao Ye's eyes lit up. The last talent skill, Absolute True Damage, was the newly awakened skill, a concept-based skill. Ignoring defense, true damage. Having played Honor of Kings, Xiao Ye knew how powerful this talent skill was. Your god-tier defensive gear? Sorry, I can definitely deal true damage. Your SSS level template defensive skill? Sorry, I can definitely deal true damage. Your tanky? High overall health? Sorry, I can definitely deal true damage. Xiao Ye was looking forward to the upcoming battle with the welcoming team captain. Sir, we'll challenge you. As Xiao Ye was allocating points on his panel, the 2 leaders from the second high school stepped forward, shouting at the welcoming team captain with full fighting spirit. You're quite good. The welcoming team captain nodded to the second high school leaders, then looked at the slender girl Nangguang Xiao and smiled. You don't need to spend any money. Since you haven't formed a contract, your team doesn't need to be tested. He was openly letting them win. Yi Luren, the muscular boy from the first high school's contracted team, smirked, secretly glancing at Xiao Ye with a smug expression. Then, the 2 leaders from the second high school activated their contract power, summoning a demon butterfly. The devil disc emitted a chilling and terrifying aura, making one feel as if they were walking alone in a mass grave in the dead of night. A devil disc, a spirit-type summon that has just entered the first tier? The welcoming captain and vice captain activated their contract power. Bang bang bang. A silver-white ape, brimming with a ferocious aura, appeared before them, repeatedly pounding its chest with loud thuds. It had suppressed its cultivation level to the early first tier. Watch out. The silver-white ape grabbed the boulder and hurled it at the devil disc while dodging. The devil disc quickly activated its innate skill, Ghostly Howls. Reduces the enemy's mental strength, distracts their attention, and thus reduces their combat power. Hehe. Everyone felt as if they had been dragged into a mass grave, their ears filled with the whispers of wild ghosts and the howls of wolves. This scene gave many goosebumps. Bang! The devil disc flapped its wings, but failed to completely dodge the boulder, getting grazed by its tail and falling to the ground, forced to withdraw from the summon and reveal its human form. Defeat. The contractors of number 2 high school were shocked. An S-rank template devil disc was utterly defeated? The two captains of no. 2 high school wore clear, foolish eyes. They lost already? Nangguang Xiao seemed to have anticipated this, her expression calm. Then she looked curiously at Xiao Ye. An SSS rank template should last at least a minute, right? Ye Learn's face lit up with excitement, waiting for Xiao Ye to embarrass himself. Trash. Utter trash. The silver-white gorilla spoke in a human voice. It was the captain of the welcoming team speaking. He pointed at all the contractors and angrily said, "The base city spends a lot of resources to cultivate this bunch of trash? So much for being a prodigy. They're utterly pathetic. I think you should all just get lost. There's no need to waste your time here. An S-rank template summon beast can't even beat an A-rank template summon beast like me. You've really lost all face." You. The captain and vice captain of number 2 high school were red-faced with anger, very indignant. Pairs of contractors glared angrily at the words of the summoned beast gorilla. But they were helpless, they couldn't win. With their inexperienced fighting skills, they were no match for the seasoned captain of the welcoming team. Just when everyone felt powerless, Xiao Ye spoke loudly, pointing at the gorilla's nose with a resounding voice, "They're no match for me, I'll defeat you." Xiao Ye, holding Cheng Bingxi's hand, went to the boulder that had struck the demon disc, mobilized the power of the contract, and activated the summoning. Mystic and dreamlike colors descended, and a phantom emerged from the earth, as if pulled from illusion into reality. The nine-tailed celestial fox, in its one-tail form, appeared on the boulder, exuding holiness, nobility, and agility. The mysterious aura made everyone feel as if their spirits had been cleansed. Wow! This is an SSS-level template summon beast. It looks so cool. This is a nine-tailed celestial fox. Its pure white fur makes me want to pet it. It's very elegant, but it doesn't seem to have any offensive capabilities. Nangguang Xiao also curiously examined the one-tailed white fox, murmuring, "This is an SSS-level template? It's kind of handsome." The gorilla thought to itself, "Finally, it's your turn. The son of the city guardian pavilion master told me to teach you a lesson. You can't escape. Although you're an SSS-level template summon beast, I can't hurt you, but I can still make you suffer a little." The City Guardian Pavilion is the official military organization of each base city, and the Pavilion Master is the highest-ranking officer, on par with the City Lord. Bang! The gorilla leaped upwards, hurtling towards the one-tailed white fox in a parabolic arc. The holy white fox possessed instinctive dynamic vision and easily dodged the attack. The gorilla crashed to the ground, creating a small crater. The holy white fox's eyes turned cold, and she silently activated her innate skill, Divine Charm. A wave of energy struck the gorilla, causing its frenzied aura to falter, its mind to become confused, its expression to turn blank, and it froze on the spot. Where am I? Who am I? What am I supposed to do? This beautiful white fox, if I sit on her, she'll definitely cry, right? Why are there 2 groups of greeters here? Will I knock their pants out if I punch them one by one? Why are there a bunch of cute little ones looking at me over there? Will throwing a boulder at them make them dizzy? Now, absolute true damage, physical attacks ignore all enemy defenses. Dealing 100% true damage, you like throwing stones, huh? I'll let you taste what it's like to be hit by a stone. To everyone's astonishment, the holy white fox tossed a boulder under her paw high into the air, smashing it into the gorilla's neck. Bang! The sound echoed in everyone's ears. The gorilla's confused mind suddenly cleared, and the sharp pain in his neck made him gasp. The blow to his neck had disrupted the flow of breath and blood, causing a wave of dizziness. With a thud, he collapsed to the ground, unconscious. The commander is in great shape, falling asleep as soon as he hits the pillow, Xiao Ye joked, exiting his summoning state. Chapter 10 Mission Rewards. Xiao Ye, it's so good. That's amazing. The fruitful girl was stunned. Seeing his goddess so amazed by Xiao Ye, the muscular boy learn couldn't help but say sourly, the instructor didn't perform well. He just won by luck. If it happened again, he might not be able to win. The fruitful girl tilted her head and asked, "Then can you defeat the instructor as easily as Xiao Ye and the others?" The muscular boy Learn blushed and stammered, You can't." Seeing Ye Learn stammering, the fruitful girl gave him the answer. All the talented contractors present were shocked by the power of the SSS-level template, Summon Beast. Especially the 2 summoners of the Devil Butterfly, the 2 couple leaders from the 2nd high school, their eyes practically overflowing with admiration for Xiao Ye and Mengxuan. Honey, from now on, Xiao Ye is my male god. I'll probably live in his shadow for the rest of my life. I understand. I also have many things to learn from such a powerful man like him. Wow, honey, Xiao Ye is so gentle with his girlfriend. I love him so much. If you were as pretty as Mengxuan, I'd be very gentle too. Are you kidding me? Am I not pretty? You can sleep on the floor tonight. The couple started bickering. Mengxuan asked Xiao Ye curiously, Xiao Ye, why did our summoned beast suddenly awaken a talent skill? That's real damage. It's so powerful. I love it. Xiao Ye smiled mysteriously. Want to know why it awakened? Come closer, I'll tell you. Seeing his mysterious demeanor, Mengxuan's curiosity grew even stronger, so she leaned closer. Why? Xiao Ye blew a breath and made up a story. Exercising increases our tacit understanding, thereby strengthening our contract power. So, without us even realizing it, our summoned beasts awaken new innate skills. My goodness, is that even possible? Mengxuan was shocked. Xiao Ye nodded at her. Mengxuan's face flushed slightly, and she said, then we need to exercise more. Defeat a Tier 1 gorilla, mission complete. Reward: 100 evolution points, 1 rule fragment crystal stored in system space. Congratulations, host, the rule fragment crystal has automatically recognized its master. Successful recognition. Host, Xiao Ye, after recognizing its master, the host can retrieve the crystal at any time, regardless of how it is used. Rule fragment crystal automatically recognized its master and can be retrieved at any time. Xiao Ye was overjoyed. He already had one, but he wondered how many he would need to unlock the template of the fruitful girl. Inside the training camp, high in the tower, 2 middle-aged men with composed demeanor witnessed the entire ordeal. Old Yi, your son is still as willful as ever, hasn't changed at all. He's the kind of guy who won't learn until he hits a wall, but he'll learn something once he's been taught. Maybe. Would you believe me if I said my daughter is an SSS-level ferocious beast template? I believe you. I saw the phenomenon when she awakened, and it was similar in scale to Mengxuan's awakening phenomenon at number 3 high school, but the test result was sea level. That's an undeniable fact. I've never heard of anything like this before. You need to understand, and your son needs to understand even more, that my daughter can't possibly form a contract with him. They're never meant to be. It's just that Lu Ren, he's too infatuated. The two remained silent for a long time before continuing. After training, our base city's overall score in this year's college entrance exam won't be last again. That's not necessarily true. As far as I know, the base city next door, which had the second to last overall score in last year's college entrance exam, also started its youth training camp today. I need to find an opportunity to meet Xiao Ye and Mengxuan. Below, the top contractors from 3 high schools were welcomed into the training camp by the welcoming team. The contractors lined up on a flat area, and the captain of the welcoming team, now awake, introduced the 2 bald male and female instructors beside him. These 2 will be your instructors for the month-long intensive training. Don't underestimate them just because their heads are high enough to be light bulbs. They are SS rank beast template summoners transferred from the capital 10 years ago. SS rank template? At this moment, everyone's attention shifted to the 2 instructors. The captain of the welcoming team continued, "You're very lucky. He was originally an instructor for our hunting team, known as a training maniac." The bald male instructor took off his shirt, revealing bulging muscles and 8-pack abs. Everyone was shocked. His upper body and neck were covered with dense, white, scabbed scars, a shocking sight that made everyone gasp. 1,896 scars, the bald male instructor suddenly exclaimed, rolling up the sleeve of the bald female instructor, revealing her arm covered in dense white scars. "We both have 1,896 scars. These are the scars left from carrying out over 500 hellish level missions over the past 10 years. His voice suddenly rose. "We don't regret it, on the contrary, we feel proud. We feel honored. Because, every scar on our bodies is a contribution we've made to the Dragon Kingdom." Everyone was shocked. How much suffering they had endured, how many hardships they had overcome. Everyone stood in awe. In this calamistic apocalypse, the reason they were able to grow up safely was because someone was bearing the burden for them. Seeing everyone's expressions, the bald instructor nodded and changed the subject. Our mission this time is to train you into ruthless and decisive geniuses who can adapt to any situation in the wild. And to ensure that your overall scores in this year's college entrance examination do not fall below last place. We've designated the level of this mission as Hell Level. The geniuses present were dumbfounded. Falling below last place was Hell Level difficulty? The team leader of number 2 high school blushed and said with extreme indignation, "Don't look down on us. Are we that bad?" Someone echoed, "That's right." Xie Mengxuan opened her mouth and shouted, "Why are you acting like a girl? If you're going to win first place." Whoosh! All eyes suddenly focused on Xie Mengxuan, their gazes seemingly saying, "Damn, she's fierce." The voluptuous girl Nangguang Xie Ye stared at Xie Mengxuan with shining eyes, as if a switch for some special fetish had been activated. Xie Mengxuan blushed slightly at the sudden stares, then said firmly, "Second to last is fine too." Everyone nearly collapsed upon hearing this. To say the weakest thing with the most resolute tone, that's something else. Xiao Ye thought striving for first place was too tiring, he'd just let it happen naturally. With his talent, as long as he didn't get last place in the college entrance exam, he'd be fine. Just then, the system's voice suddenly echoed in his mind, "Host contact event detected, mission triggered, stage mission, achieve first place nationally, and for the base city's overall performance to rank in the top 10 nationally. Reward, Supreme Mysterious Grand Prize, claim now? No penalty for refusing, no penalty for mission failure." Xiao Ye's starry eyes widened. A Supreme Mysterious Grand Prize? It sounded incredibly high-class and prestigious. System, claim the mission. Successfully claimed, Xiao Ye replied. The reward didn't matter, he mainly wanted to bring glory to Mengguan Base City. "We, the Beast Tamers, are full of blood and spirit, and are men of steel. Of course, we must compete with thousands of geniuses for first place, and of course, we must ensure that the overall college entrance examination results of our base city rank among the top 10 in the country." Chapter 11 Co-ed Dormitory, New Mission. Mengguan Base City has been ranked last for 10 consecutive years. The bald, training maniac instructor's gaze swept over the contractors below. In the past 10 years, do you think the base city government and schools haven't taken any countermeasures? The contractors present were somewhat silent, but still somewhat unconvinced. The bald instructor sneered and announced a number. 9th rank. The level of last year's National College Entrance Examination champion when he took the exam. At that time, he crossed realms at the 9th rank to kill a Grandmaster-level magical beast and win the College Entrance Examination champion title. 9th rank. Killed a Grandmaster. College Entrance Examination champion. The contractors' hearts exploded. They finally recognized reality. 9th rank. That was a distant and powerful realm. Jinran, who had just returned from taking a dump, seemed to recall something when he heard this number, his face filled with shock. 9th rank defeating a Grandmaster. SSS level template, fighting across realms, a super genius. He was still a freshman in college at the time, and the top trending topic on all platforms was the champion. Summoned beasts are divided into 9 ranks, with a Grandmaster rank above that. The robust young woman, Nangguang Xie, clenched her fists, her beautiful eyes wide. Even Xie Mengxuan fell silent, a rare occurrence. The highest combat strength in Mengguan Base City was only at the Grandmaster rank. A Grandmaster was enough to be appointed as the Lord of a city, or the highest commander of the city's guards. Host triggered event detected, mission triggered, stage mission, win the National College Entrance Examination top score, and achieve a top 10 ranking in the National Base City's overall performance. Current mission, within 1 week, raise the summoned beast's rank to the 5th rank. Reward. 100 evolution points, 1 rule fragment crystal. Instructor, what rank was our Mengguan Base City's top scorer last year? Xiao Ye asked. The bald instructor glanced at Xiao Ye in surprise and said, 3rd rank. Now it was the contractors below the stage who were astonished. Was the gap between base cities really that huge? The Mengguan Base City top scorer was 3rd rank, while the National College Entrance Examination top scorer was 9th rank. A single word difference, yet worlds apart. There was simply no comparison. Next, let's talk about the basic resource allocation. Each week, each A-level contractor pair will receive 10 Tier 1 crystal cores, each S-level contractor pair will receive 20 Tier 1 crystal cores, and each SSS-level contractor pair will receive 10 Tier 2 crystal cores. In addition, Each contractor pair present will receive a corresponding crystal core reward after completing each training session. Now, let's assign dormitories. At this moment, the bald instructor paused, sizing up the pairs of contractors present. The dormitories are mixed-gender contract rooms, 1 pair per room. If I find out which pair of contractors are separated, I will subject them to hellish devil training as punishment. The male students below, who had only contracted with female trainees, were extremely excited. Awesome. Just what I wanted. Wow, Xiao, did you hear that? The instructor made us share a room. You're going to die if you hear that? Let go. Xiao Ye sighed. Mixed-gender dormitories would definitely be trending in his previous life. But in this post-apocalyptic world of Blue Star, it was standard practice. What? A pair of contractors don't want to live together? The instructor will teach her a lesson, she'll hang her up and beat her. Silence. The bald female instructor spoke up, no training today. All trainees, familiarize yourselves with the environment, the accommodations, and collect your basic resources for this week. Dismissed. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi went to collect their cultivation resources for the week. As SSS-level contractors, they could collect 10 second-tier crystal cores per week. After collecting the crystal cores, the two went to the dormitory area together. It was an apartment building, and 001 was their room number. Although it was one room, it was a small apartment with a living room, kitchen, and bedroom. However, there was only one bedroom. They arrived at 2 p.m., and 4 or 5 hours had passed. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi prepared to wash up and rest. Cheng Bingxi went into the bathroom, while Xiao Ye waited outside. Xiao Ye. I left my clothes outside, bring them in for me. Not this one. Wait, this dress is missing a piece of fabric. Change into something else, hurry up. Are you kidding me, Xiao Ye? This is a bunny girl outfit. Why did you bring a wedding dress? I don't need underwear, who wears that at home? HMPH, you can't even carry clothes properly. Finally, Cheng Bingxi, dressed in the emperor's new clothes, personally picked out a robe and then wore the wedding dress over it. Xiao Ye witnessed the whole thing, dumbfounded. Cheng Bingxi's face flushed slightly, and she sat down beside him, saying, Xiao Ye, if you find it troublesome, I won't let you carry them anymore. Xiao Ye shook his head vigorously, saying, it's no trouble at all, come more often, I really like it. Although Cheng Bingxi's figure wasn't as voluptuous as Xiaoge's, she still had a golden ratio figure, flawless and pleasing to the eye. However, Xiao Ye asked with slight doubt, do you like wearing wedding dresses? Of course. I finally managed to trick you into my heart, what else would I wear but a wedding dress? Cheng Bingxi snorted, HMPH, I've had my eye on you since the first year of high school. Who knew you'd be so aloof back then, making everyone feel like strangers couldn't approach you, even more aloof than me, the school beauty. Luckily, I was clever enough to find a reason to be your brother so I could get close to you. Xiao Ye thought about it carefully and felt a great sense of dread, so he couldn't help but ask, so that's why you asked me questions every day back then. Your grades were better than mine back then, you were first in the whole school, and I was second. Later, you even took the initiative to be my deskmate, and that deskmate relationship lasted for 3 years. You, Cheng Bingxi, I treated you like a brother, and you actually wanted to sleep with me and wanted to be my wife. A sense of triumph appeared on Cheng Bingxi's face. While my deskmate was still young and inexperienced, of course I had to trick you into my heart. Ever since the monster attack in the first year of high school, your grades dropped, which allowed me to get first place in academic subjects, Xiao Ye said. Cheng Bingxi fell silent. The monster attacks in her first year of high school were her nightmare. Looking at his silent girlfriend, Xiao Ye said, go to sleep. We have training tomorrow. Cheng Bingxi shook her head. No. I finally managed to trick you into a contract with me. We're husband and wife now. I want to go to the cave with you every day. Xiao Ye was embarrassed. How come he didn't know his brother was so crazy? If he had known earlier, it would have been incredibly exciting. Please add to your favorites and read on. Chapter 12. A promising young woman. I'm willing to give myself to her. Knock, knock, knock. A knock sounded at the door. Xiao Ye opened the door a crack and peeked out. A delicate and beautiful face suddenly appeared just centimeters away from Xiao Ye, saying, Xiao Ye, can I come in and chat? It was the adorable Nangguang Xiao. She looked pleading, her round, beautiful eyes innocent and adorable, and Xiao Ye could smell her fragrant scent. Who is it? We're about to go to sleep, Xie Mengxuan said, pulling Xie inside after recognizing her. The movement was quite large, startling the enormous woman, giving Xiao Ye a feast for the eyes. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Is it really okay for her to come here in her pajamas? Xiao Ye followed behind. On the sofa, Xie Mengxuan asked curiously, Xie, you haven't formed a contract with a Beast Tamer, so how will you train? The plump girl hugged Xie Mengxuan's arm, and the two leaned against the sofa. A hint of excitement flashed deep in her eyes, but on the surface, she replied normally, I'll join the training alone. I can manage even without a summoned beast. Your skin is so nice, Sister Mengxuan. The plump girl stroked Xie Mengxuan's cheek, her eyes even more excited. Xie Mengxuan was a little uncomfortable. It was the first time a girl had touched her face like that, so she interrupted, You're the same, so fair. The plump girl said, Can I come to play with you often in the future? Come whenever you want. The two chatted quite well, and Xiao Ye, unable to get a word in edgewise, asked the system in his mind, System, how many rule fragment crystals does Xie need to complete the template? The system did not respond. Big brother system, please reply. The system did not respond. Grandpa system, give me a reply. System handsome, system dashing, system pretty? The system still didn't respond. Xiao Ye cursed in his mind, You system bastard, what a piece of trash system, you have no intelligence at all. The system still didn't react. Xiao Ye had figured out the system's routine. It was essentially a machine that could only operate according to a specific program. At this moment, the rule fragment crystal suddenly flashed with light, and Xiao Ye understood some information. The SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon Summoning Beast has become extinct in this universe. To conjure the 5-Claw Golden Dragon Summoning Beast template out of thin air, 12 rule fragment crystals are required, more than other SSS level templates. To know how many rule fragment crystals Xie needs to complete the template, we must first scan her body to see how much rule power the template absorbed during her awakening. This was the information transmitted by the rule fragment crystal. Only then did Xiao Ye remember that the rule fragment crystal had recognized him as its master. After recognizing him as its master, he could give the rule fragment crystal to the fruitful girl and take it back at any time. I'll take you out later, don't make any noise. After giving this instruction, Xiao Ye took out the crystal from his system space. Scan it quickly, just don't cause any anomalies. Xie and Xie Mengxuan were snuggled together, chatting happily, when suddenly Xie felt a very comfortable and pleasant sensation rising up her body. Xie's beautiful eyes lit up, and she liked snuggling closer to Xie Mengxuan even more. SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon Template Completion 84%, only 2 more rule fragment crystals are needed to fully materialize. This information came to Xiao Ye's mind. 2? I only have 1. Alright, the system issued a mission, current mission, within 1 week, raise the summoned beast's realm to the 5th rank. Mission reward. 100 evolution points, 1 rule fragment crystal. System, accept the mission. This time the system responded immediately, mission accepted successfully. If the mission is completed, plus the 100 evolution points obtained from defeating the welcoming team captain, there will be a total of 200 evolution points, enough to upgrade the 2-tailed form to the 3-tailed form. 2 rule fragment crystals were enough to complete the template of the fruitful girl. So Xiao Ye put away the rule fragment crystals and asked Xie, if someone could restore your SSS level template, how would you repay them? Huh? The fruitful girl, Xie, was stunned for a moment, then reacted and said, How do you know I'm an SSS level template? Did my father tell you? I guess. Answer my question. Xiao Ye took a sip of tea and smiled. The fruitful girl's expression became serious, her head held high, her enormous form becoming even more terrifying. I would repay them with my body. PFFT. Xiao Ye spat out a mouthful of tea, exclaiming, Are you serious? More serious than real gold. Xie nodded, then said with extreme disappointment, But what can anyone do? My father investigated a lot of information. This phenomenon has never occurred before, only me. I'm prepared to never enter into a contract for the rest of my life. So you're prepared to live a lonely life? Xiao Ye thought to himself. In this era, entering into a contract is equivalent to getting a marriage certificate. If you don't enter into a contract, are you going to live alone for the rest of your life? Afterwards, Xie left, her back view very desolate, her shadow stretching long. Cheng Bingxi suddenly jumped onto Xiao Ye, saying, "Come on, let's go back to the bedroom. Such a beautiful time shouldn't be wasted." Xiao Ye asked, "Should we transform into the beast-eared girl form?" Cheng Bingxi shook her head vigorously. The next day, 4 o'clock in the morning, Xiao Ye got up early, all for the sake of cultivation. His goal was to raise the level of his summoned beast to the 5th rank within a week. This was not only to complete the mission, but also for the sake of future happiness. Cheng Bingxi's bathrobe had long been thrown away somewhere, lying on the bed like an octopus. A minute later, she was forcibly turned on. After washing up, the two began to cultivate. Dressed in formal attire, Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi immediately mobilized the power of their contract and began to summon the two-tailed form, the holy white fox. Profound energy spread out, and a phantom emerged from the ground. A summoned beast seemed to be pulled from illusion into reality, appearing vividly on the flat ground. This was the two-tailed form, the holy white fox. Compared to the one-tailed form, the two-tailed form is not simply about adding a tail. Skill strength, physical strength, and cultivation speed will all increase accordingly. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi's bodies disappeared, their consciousness appearing in the mind of the holy white fox. 10 second-tier crystal cores, this was the cultivation resource they received yesterday for the week. After consuming 1 second-tier crystal core, Xiao Ye could feel an energy far greater than that of a first-tier crystal core coursing through his body. PFFT. PFFT. The two hurriedly activated their magical beast cultivation method. After digesting 2 second-tier crystal cores, the summoned beast's realm reached the early stage of the second tier. Cheng Bingxi exclaimed in surprise, "Xiao Ye, our cultivation speed is so fast. Then let's hurry up and cultivate." "Cheng Bingxi, my wife," Xiao Ye replied. With the digestion of 1 second-tier crystal core after another, 2 hours later, the summoned beast's realm reached the late stage of the second tier. Xiao Ye estimated that with 1 more second-tier crystal core, he could step into the 3rd tier. Feeling his surging 3rd-tier power, Xiao Ye declared, "Nangguangxiao, from the moment I set my sights on you, you've never escaped my grasp. Are you going to repay me with your body? That would suit me just the way." Chapter 13: The continuous inflow of crystal core rewards. Muscular teenager Yi Learn sneaked into the training camp early in the morning. Looking at the smart token in his hand, he exclaimed excitedly, "My father's identity token. It can send messages and activate alarms. With this, I'll give that Xiao Ye a good beating. HMPH, max out his willpower training. Let him fight the most heavily armored beast." Yi Learn had always been petty and narrow-minded. Nangguangxiao was his goddess, his white moonlight. Before awakening, the two had agreed to form a contract under the matchmaking of their elders. However, after awakening, Nangguangxiao's template malfunctioned, claiming she was an SSS-level template and would never form a contract with anyone else until her template was restored. Therefore, Yi Learn was extremely sensitive to the words SSS level. If it weren't for the SSS level template issue, even if Nangguangxiao didn't like him, the two could still form a contract under the matchmaking of their elders. But now, it was all in vain. This made Yi Learn both angry and deeply regretful. If he could do it all over again, he would definitely stop Nangguangxiao from awakening. At exactly 6:30, everyone gathered at the training plaza. The contractors, still half asleep, stared at their tousled hair. These pairs of contractors, having stayed up until midnight, all looked like they hadn't slept well. The bald male and female instructors, known as training maniacs, watched this scene with satisfaction. The more they struggled, the more their teamwork would improve, which greatly benefited their summoned beasts. However, training couldn't be neglected. This week's training plan is 1. Physical fitness training. 2. Willpower training. 3. Animal or girl training. 4. Monster contact training. 5. Related knowledge dissemination. 6. Simulated combat. The bald male instructor announced the plan, then looked around and said, "These training sessions are not in any particular order. As long as you complete the training, you will receive a crystal core reward." The pairs of contractors below the stage had their eyes light up. Crystal cores. The two bald instructors led the contractors to a gravity-fed track measuring 1,000 square meters. First training session, physical fitness training. In the post-apocalyptic world of Blue Star, The strength of the contractor's human physical abilities will also affect the mental state of their summoned beasts. Now, everyone, begin weighted running. 50 kilograms of weight, 10 kilometers, begin. At this moment, the bald instructor's pocket beeped. He took out his communicator and saw, focus on training Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan, set the difficulty to hell level. The bald instructor's expression changed. It was an order from the highest-ranking officer, the pavilion master of the city guard. Received, the bald instructor replied. Looking at the contractors stepping onto the gravity track in the distance, the bald instructor glanced at Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan. SSS level, they're a level above my SS talent. Prodigies, of course, can't be trained using ordinary methods. On the gravity track, Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan quickly adapted to the 50 kilograms of weight and were far ahead on the track. Next were the contractors with S-level summoned beasts. 50 kilograms wasn't too difficult for them, as they had inherited part of the summoned beast's power. The A-rank summoner's contractor had a tough time, having just entered the ranks and inheriting limited power, so they could only walk briskly. Finally, there was the C-rank template, Xiao, who hadn't inherited summoner power. Carrying 50 kilograms of weight, she had to be careful not to fall with every step. 10 kilometers, 10 minutes later, Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan finished their training. The bald instructor wrote on their names, 1 second-tier crystal core each. Carrying 100 kilograms, you two continue running 10 kilometers, the bald instructor said, looking at the two who hadn't even broken a sweat. So Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan continued on their way. Whoosh! Carrying 100 kilograms, the two easily overtook the other contractors, completing the 100-kilogram weight training. The bald instructor wrote in his notebook, add, Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, 2 second-tier crystal cores each, 3 second-tier crystal cores each. Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan looked at the rewards written in the instructor's notebook, their eyes sparkling with greed. So many crystal cores. We can upgrade again. Such a generous resource reward for completing training shows the base city has invested heavily. 10-minute rest, then 200 kilograms of weight, another 10 kilometers. At this moment, the S-rank summoner contractors finally finished their 10-kilometer run with 50 kilograms of weight. They looked at Xiao Ye and his companion, sweating profusely, quite surprised. Good heavens, you ran 2 laps and then had to carry 200 kilograms. A smug glint flashed in Ye Learn's eyes. Ha ha ha, 200 kilograms, see if you don't collapse from exhaustion. Then the bald instructor said, the reward is recorded for you. US rank summoner contractors, rest for 10 minutes, then begin the 10-kilometer run with 100 kilograms of weight. Oh, Ye Learn's smile froze. 100 kilograms for 10 kilometers? He doubted he could manage. Then 2 groups of contractors began training. One group was Xiao Ye and his companion with SSS rank summoners, and the other group consisted of 3 pairs of S-rank summoner contractors. This time, Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan ran relatively slowly, and sweat appeared on their foreheads, but they still completed the training within half an hour. The bald instructor wrote in his notebook, Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, added, each person is rewarded with 3 second-tier crystal cores, for a total of 6 second-tier crystal cores each. Rest for a while, then continue with 300 kilograms of weight, another 10 kilometers of training, the bald instructor said. The A-level summoner contractors, who had just completed their first training session with 50 kilograms of weight, were stunned when they heard the instructor's words 300 kilograms? Is this even human? We've only finished 1 training session, and you're already starting the 4th. Is this some kind of inhuman torture? Ye Learn, still on the track, was very happy. Even though he was covered in sweat, he wanted to see Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan make a fool of themselves. 300 kilograms of weight, huh, can you handle it? Then Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan began their 4th training session. After carrying 300 kilograms of weight, Xiao Ye felt that running was a bit difficult, so he started walking on the track. The young woman was drenched in sweat, seemingly at her limit, each step requiring immense effort. Xiao Ye approached, surprised, and asked, Xiao, are you sure you can do this? I can. The young woman replied resolutely, even though she was nearly exhausted. Just 200 meters left. Xiao Ye and his companion overtook her. Xiao looked up at their weight markings and was stunned. 300 kilograms? That's an SSS level template. Xiao felt the power of the SSS level template and yearned even more to find a way to restore it. She was willing to give anything to restore it to SSS level. Finally, Xiao Ye and his companion also reached their limit, completing the 300-kilogram weight training in half an hour. They collapsed to the ground, sweat pouring down their foreheads and chins onto the grass. The second group of S-level contractors hadn't finished their training yet, but Ye Learn, seeing Xiao Ye and his companion exhausted, was overjoyed. The bald instructor added the rewards to Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi's records. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi each received 6 Tier 2 crystal cores, for a total of 12 Tier 2 crystal cores each, totaling 24 Tier 2 crystal cores. Huff, huff, huff. Nangguang Xiao finally completed the 50-kilogram weight training. She lay down beside Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, panting heavily, her body heaving. The climax is almost here. Please add to your favorites and continue reading. Chapter 14, Exploiting the System to Obtain Over 2,000 Second-Tier Crystal Cores. The muscular young man, Ye Learn, stared at the three lying on the grass, his smile freezing again. He growled angrily, "Damn it. He really deserves to die." Ye Learn was incredibly jealous. Why was Nangguang Xiao so close to Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, yet so cold to him? They were childhood sweethearts who had grown up together. Ye Learn's throat went dry, and he almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, the summoner of an S-rank ferocious beast possessed considerable physical strength, and he eventually completed the training. This afternoon is the ferocious beast contact training. Everyone, get ready, the bald instructor instructed the contractors who had finished their training. Ferocious beast contact training? Hearing this, Ye Learn's eyes lit up. He knew the specifics of ferocious beast contact training. It involved the novices summoning contracted beasts to make initial contact and combat with ferocious beasts. With a token in hand, I'll have Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi fight the toughest, most defensively powerful beasts. They'll definitely be humiliated. That's a newbie's nightmare. Ye Learn was very excited at the thought. The higher the difficulty, the greater the reward for completing the training. But could Xiao Ye complete it? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Time quickly passed to afternoon. All the contractors were ready to go, lining up in an orderly fashion downstairs in the dormitory building. First group, contractors of SSS-level summon beasts, Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. Second group, contractors of S-level summon beasts, 6 people, 3 men and 3 women, including Ye Learn. Third group, contractors of A-level summon beasts, 18 people, 9 men and 9 women. Fourth group, Nangguang Xiao, who has not yet formed a contract. Alone the bald instructor led the 4 groups to the monster training ground. Unlike in the morning, the monster training ground had city guards training there. The monster training ground was similar to a sports plaza, but with a roof. It was divided into areas, each containing monsters whose movements were restricted by chains or restrictions. Whoosh! Hiss! In the deepest training area, a giant python was coiling its thick serpent around a ferocious Zhuan turtle beast. The Zhuan turtle beast retreated into its shell, which was covered in magical runes and shimmered with a ghostly light. Even with a giant python's tight coiling, it couldn't cause it the slightest harm. Time's up. The giant python broke free from the Zhuan turtle beast and transformed into 2 humans in a safe area. They looked exhausted and said, "We failed. We couldn't kill this demonic turtle. This year's rookie hunting team is too ordinary. Not a single person could complete the hellish training," their training instructor said with great disappointment. At this moment, the bald instructor led 4 groups to the monster training ground and arranged the training for everyone. Next, all groups will summon contracted beasts and control them to enter the monster area. As long as you don't escape the monster area within a certain time, you don't need to defeat or kill the monsters, and you'll have completed the training. Completing the training will still earn you crystal core rewards. Enter the monster area. The contractors in the group tensed up immediately. Even though they had learned a lot about magical beasts in class, this was their first time actually encountering one. Report, instructor. If we defeat or even kill a magical beast, do we have to pay compensation? Cheng Bingxi's beautiful eyes shone as she stared at the magical beast. The bald instructor glanced at her in surprise, then smirked. If you can defeat or even kill a magical beast, not only will you not have to pay compensation, but your reward will be doubled. Defeating it will increase the reward 5-fold, and killing it will increase the reward 10-fold. Roger. Cheng Bingxi felt impatient, eager to rise up and immediately enter the magical beast area to wreak havoc. Immediately summon the template beast and enter the Tier 1 magical beast area, the bald instructor ordered. Beep beep. At this moment, the bald instructor's pocket beeped with a message. He took it out and saw it was a message from the Lord of the City Guard Pavilion. SSS-level contractors cannot be viewed with common sense. Their training volume must be doubled to the maximum, starting with hellish difficulty, to unleash their potential. Putting away the communication device, the bald instructor learned that the City Guard's highest commander, the Pavilion Master, highly valued Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan. Otherwise, he wouldn't have specifically come to give them instructions before each training session. At this moment, the contractors had already appeared in their summoned beast forms. The field immediately formed the following groups. The first group, the Holy Two-Tailed White Fox. The second group, the Black Wolf King, the Golden Demon Eagle, and the Devil Butterfly. The third group, the Dreamy Spirit Butterfly, the White Snake, and the Black Striped Ferocious Leopard. The fourth group, the Pure and Innocent Girl Nangong Xiao Ye, laden with fruit, was not yet summoned. Her slender figure appeared somewhat desolate and lonely. She looked at the summoned beasts beside her with envy, her heart filled with longing. However, when she saw the two-tailed white fox, her eyes immediately sparkled with stars. She wanted to hug it, wanted to cuddle it. After the bold female instructor arranged for the second and third groups to enter the monster area. Group 4, watch from the sidelines. Group 1, follow me. The bald male instructor led the holy white fox and Nangong Xiao Ye to the deepest part of the monster training hall. There were 12 smaller areas, one of which was the demon pattern Zhuan turtle area. Starting with the first tier Zhuan turtle, as long as you stay in the monster area for 10 minutes, you've completed the training. The bald instructor pointed to a monster area. Monster contact training is a mental exercise, overcoming blind fear of monsters. Close contact with monsters allows newcomers to better understand them. In the monster area, the two-tailed white fox stared intently at the demon pattern Zhuan turtle. The demon pattern Zhuan turtle emitted a terrifying demonic light, then swiftly retreated into its shell, falling to the ground with a thud and remaining motionless. The holy white fox stared at it, looking left and right. 10 minutes quickly passed, completing the first training session. The bald instructor noted in his notebook, Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, 1 second-tier crystal core each, totaling 26 second-tier crystal cores. Instructor, this training session is complete, let's begin the second. Next, in the 12 smaller areas at the deepest part of the training ground, 6 Tier 1 magical beasts, 6 Tier 2 magical beasts, and the holy white fox each spent 10 minutes in their respective areas. These magical beasts were restricted in their movements. Tier 1 magical beasts for 10 minutes, 6 Tier 2 crystal cores per person. Tier 2 magical beasts for 10 minutes, 60 Tier 2 crystal cores per person. The bald instructor noted in his notebook, Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, reward 132 Tier 2 crystal cores, total 158 Tier 2 crystal cores. The bald instructor was somewhat disappointed with the white fox. This was all the SSS level template beasts were capable of. Just for show. Little did he know, this was merely Xiao Ye's way of getting freebies. Instructor, our warm-up is over, we can begin the formal training. The holy white fox's voice rang out. Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan had already planned to exploit the training camp's rewards. Staying in the monster area for 10 minutes would reward them with crystal cores, defeating the monsters would also reward them, and finally, killing the monsters would reward them again. 3 waves of rewards in total. The bald instructor gave permission for the white fox to re-enter the first-tier monster area. The first-tier demonic pattern tortoise retreated into its shell. Seeing the motionless tortoise, the two-tailed white fox grabbed an iron rod and swung it at the tortoise. Absolute true damage, ignores defense, 100% true damage, 10% power. Bang! The tortoise's internal organ shattered from the blow, and it coughed up blood. The newly recruited hunting team, attracted by the attack, was stunned. How could a single blow to the shell cause the tortoise to cough up blood? The tortoise is seriously injured, came the voice of an experienced instructor. Holy crap, that's awesome. The summoner of the white snake was shocked. That seemingly ordinary blow had severely injured the demonic turtle. Xiao Ye, controlling the two-tailed white fox, said to the bald instructor, Instructor, have you registered everything? I'm about to start the next training session. He was trying to fleece them. The bald instructor, realizing what was happening, widened his eyes and suddenly understood. So that's why the white fox hadn't started fighting before. He wrote in his notebook again, Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, 5 second-tier crystal cores each, totaling 168 second-tier crystal cores. Okay. Receiving the bald instructor's response, the white fox swung its staff at the demonic turtle again. Absolute true damage, 100% power. PFFT. A 10-meter-high column of blood spurted from the demonic beast's head, and it died instantly. Awesome. The White Snake Summoner and the rookie hunting team gave a thumbs up and exclaimed in admiration. A telekinetic attack? This skill is very useful. They guessed at the White Fox's skill. The bald instructor wrote in his notebook, Xiao Ye, Cheng Bingxi, 10 Tier 2 crystal cores each, totaling 188 Tier 2 crystal cores. Subsequently, the White Fox appeared in 11 other areas, first defeated, then killed, reaping 2 waves of rewards. One instructor cursed as he read it. Disgraceful, utterly disgraceful. Your new recruit hunting team is worse than students who haven't even taken the college entrance exam. Increase your training tenfold from now on. No, the entire new recruit hunting team, including the White Snake Summoner, wailed. Next to Nangguang Xiao, the bald instructor's eyes were blurry from writing. His notebook contained 36 lines recording the rewards for Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. Xiao Ye, Cheng Bingxi, defeat rewards, defeat 6 Tier 1 magical beasts. 30 Tier 2 crystal cores each, defeat 6 Tier 2 magical beasts. 300 Tier 2 crystal cores each total. 660 Tier 2 crystal cores, 828 Tier 2 crystal cores in total. Xiao Ye, Cheng Bingxi, kill rewards, kill 6 Tier 1 magical beasts. 60 Tier 2 crystal cores each, kill 6 Tier 2 magical beasts. 600 Tier 2 crystal cores each total. 1,320 Tier 2 crystal cores, 2,148 Tier 2 crystal cores in total. After writing this, the bald instructor was dumbfounded. Over 2,000 Tier 2 crystal cores? This is ridiculously generous. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15, 5th Tier Achieved, Another Rule Fragment Crystallized. Having completed their training, Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, controlling their two-tailed form, the Holy White Fox, approached their instructor. Nangguang Xiao immediately rushed over, hugging the two-tailed white fox tightly, her face beaming with excitement. She rubbed against the fox, exclaiming, Bingxi, you're amazing. Of course. Cheng Bingxi smiled proudly in the white fox's consciousness. Xiao Ye, who could sense the white fox's every feeling, cautioned Nangguang Xiao not to hug it so tightly. The enormous creature was suffocating. Nangguang Xiao reluctantly released the two-tailed form, the Holy White Fox. Its fur was incredibly soft and warm, and hugging it felt wonderfully comfortable. Then, the two-tailed form deactivated its summoned beast form and returned to human form. A flash of white light, and the white fox vanished, revealing a handsome man and a beautiful woman on the ground. It was Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. To celebrate completing the first day of training, I'll treat you to dinner, the energetic young woman said, finding a reason to spend time with Cheng Bingxi. The adorable but fierce-looking young girl exclaimed, don't refuse, come on, Sister Bingxi. Oh woo. The bald instructor gathered everyone together. Your training today has been successfully completed. You can collect your rewards from the resource department in a bit. I will upload the reward records to them. Meet at the dormitory building at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Dismissed. The bald female instructor raised her right hand, and everyone happily dispersed. Nangguang Xiao seemed very familiar with the youth training camp, clinging tightly to Cheng Bingxi's arm as she led Xiao Ye to the most upscale hunting restaurant in the camp. Cheng Bingxi felt that this adorable young girl was being too intimate with her, and couldn't help but wonder if the young girl's sexual orientation was a bit problematic. However, Cheng Bingxi was only speculating. Seeing Cheng Bingxi's wife being held by someone else, Xiao Ye felt a little annoyed and thought viciously, Nangguang Xiao, you hold my wife, and I'll hold you a week later. After the meal, he could collect 2,148 second-tier crystal cores. 10 second-tier crystal cores could be exchanged for 1 third-tier crystal core, which would amount to 2 fifth-tier crystal cores, 1 fourth-tier crystal core, 4 third-tier crystal cores, and 8 second-tier crystal cores. Such a large amount of resources was enough to upgrade the Holy White Fox to the 5th tier. Upon arriving at the high-end hunting restaurant, They entered a small private room with a pleasant ambience. A waiter automatically came to the door. "Miss Nanguang, what would you like to order?" Nanguang Xiao said as if she knew the place very well. "Please give me set menu 1. Then she showed the menu to Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi. Set menu 1 had 3 dishes and a soup, 6th tier magical beast meat, 4th tier magical beast meat, 5th tier edible spiritual plants, and an 8th tier spiritual plant soup. Looking at the price, Xiao Ye was a little stunned. Good heavens, this set meal required a 7th tier crystal core. "If you like it, we'll come here every day, Sister Bingxi." Nanguang Xiao stared at Cheng Bingxi with shining eyes. "This is a rich woman," Xiao Ye sighed. Soon the waiter finished serving the dishes and gave Nanguang Xiao a blue potion bottle. "This is energy liquid extracted from the monster meat in the dishes. Otherwise, our bodies can't withstand the energy of 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th tier monster meat." Seeing the puzzled looks on Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi's faces, Nanguang Xiao shook the blue potion bottle and explained. Soon the meal was finished. When leaving, Cheng Bingxi touched her slightly full stomach, feeling that she hadn't had enough. Then they parted ways, and the two went to the resource department to collect today's training rewards. After receiving the rewards, they returned to their dormitory apartment. Closing the door, Xiao Ye's handsome face beamed with joy. In the backpack he received, there were 2 5th-tier crystal cores, 1 4th-tier crystal core, 4 3rd-tier crystal cores, and 8 2nd-tier crystal cores. Cultivate immediately. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi mobilized the power of their contract, summoning the two-tailed form, Holy White Fox once more. At this moment, the White Fox's cultivation level was at the late stage of the 2nd tier, so it swallowed a 3rd-tier crystal core. With the two-tailed form's incredibly efficient absorption, in less than half an hour, its cultivation level surged to the early stage of the 3rd tier, barely digesting the energy of the single 3rd-tier crystal core. The power within the White Fox suddenly surged dramatically. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, existing as conscious beings in their minds, could feel the immense power, as if it could kill a bull with a single punch. Then, Xiao Ye decided to continue cultivating, controlling the White Fox to swallow 2 4th-tier crystal cores. They didn't know how much time had passed, but as the Holy White Fox rapidly circulated its magical beast cultivation technique, its cultivation level gradually increased. Early stage of the 3rd tier, mid stage of the 3rd tier, late stage of the 3rd tier, peak of the 3rd tier. With a booming sound, the Holy White Fox's cultivation level broke through to the early stage of the 4th tier. If an outsider were watching, they would see that the White Fox was emanating an increasingly profound aura. It seemed to be the center of this space, with all the surrounding energy surging around it. Opening his eyes, Xiao Ye realized that a day had passed. He had no choice but to ask his instructor for leave and return to continue his cultivation. The Holy White Fox swallowed 2 5th-tier crystal cores. As time gradually passed, the White Fox's realm rose steadily, seemingly breaking through without any bottlenecks. Early 4th tier, mid 4th tier, late 4th tier, peak 4th tier. Early 5th tier. Strong, too powerful. Xiao Ye felt a vast energy within the White Fox, like a boundless ocean. He lightly leaped and slammed into the ceiling, causing the entire dormitory building to shake with a loud bang. Fortunately, the dormitory building was constructed using post-apocalyptic materials, otherwise, the ceiling would have been pierced through. The surge in power caught both Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi off guard, preventing them from fully controlling their strength. Xiao Ye estimated that compared to the late 2nd tier, the power and energy of the 5th tier were at least 10 times greater. So strong. Cheng Bingxi cheered. To avoid damaging the apartment, Xiao Ye and his companion reverted from their summoned beast forms to their human forms. Human form also inherits some of the summoned beast's attributes, increasing the physical strength of the template contractor. Xiao Ye felt his physical attributes had greatly improved. A punch he threw produced a whooshing sound, rippling through the air. It was estimated to have the power of 3 tons. A system notification sounded in Xiao Ye's ear. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission. Advance your realm to the 5th rank within 1 week. Mission reward. 100 evolution points, 1 rule fragment crystal, stored in the system space. The rule fragment crystal automatically recognized its master. The master is Xiao Ye. Recognition successful. Regardless of how the host uses the rule fragment crystal, it can be materialized and retrieved at any time. Bang bang bang. Suddenly, The melodious voice of the robust young girl, Xiao, came from outside. Sister Binxi, I heard the noise inside. Have you finished your cultivation? She whispered furtively, leaning against the door. Chapter 16 The Pavilion Master of the Military Pavilion. These are 2 giant dragons. 3 days have already passed? In the living room, Xiao Ye was somewhat dazed after the explanation from the fruitful girl, Xiao. Today was the 5th day since entering the youth training camp. In cultivation mode, one cannot perceive the passage of time, and so much time had passed without realizing it. Xiao hugged Cheng Binxi's arm, her eyes full of excitement. She hadn't been close to Cheng Binxi for 3 days, and she was feeling a bit hungry. During these 3 days, after training, Xiao would come to Xiao Ye's apartment to check if his cultivation had ended. She would never admit that she often peeked into Xiao Ye's apartment. Suddenly, Cheng Binxi stood up anxiously and rushed into the bathroom. Oh no, my stomach is full of the past 4 days worth of alijeti, a slang term for poop. I need to go and relieve myself. Xiao Ye was speechless. If you're going to poop, just go. Why make it so detailed? As Cheng Binxi ran off, the fruitful girl, Xiao, watched her back with curiosity. Suddenly, a breathtakingly handsome face came into her view. Xiao blushed slightly and moved away a little, annoyed. What are you doing? I should be asking you what you're doing. You came to our apartment room so early in the morning. Do you have something to say? Xiao Ye retorted. I came to see Cheng. I came to inform you that the Lord of the City Guardian Pavilion needs to speak with you. Xiao subconsciously wanted to say she came to see Cheng Binxi, but realizing her mistake, she quickly stopped herself and changed the subject. Yes, the Lord of the City Guardian Pavilion wants you to go see him after your cultivation. Xiao Ye frowned. The Lord of the City Guardian Pavilion wasn't the highest commander of the City Guardian Army, a big shot on par with the City Lord of Mangin Base City? What did he want? Putting aside his thoughts, Xiao Ye's attention returned to the enormous Xiao. Do you want to restore the SSS level template? Xiao Ye asked. Xiao's expression darkened. I want to. I dream about it. But there's nothing I can do. I have absolutely no clue, no idea where to start. She murmured self-deprecatingly, maybe the heavens don't like me and are deliberately making things difficult for me. Xiao Ye stared into her eyes. I have a way. Xiao looked up, her face full of disbelief. Xiao Ye took out a rule fragment crystal from his system space and handed it to her, thinking, complete the incomplete template. The rule fragment crystal turned into colorless light and melted into Xiao's body. Xiao's body stiffened, and she asked incredulously, what is this? She actually felt a continuous stream of power surging from the depths of her body, and the power of the contract was constantly increasing. SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon Template, incomplete, 11 Rule Fragment Crystals 12 Rule Fragment Crystals. The rule fragment crystal that had merged into the young girl's body transmitted this information. Xiao's face lit up with excitement. She ran out and found a template-level detection device in the next apartment. It was very small, and she had specially asked her father, the city lord, for it. Beep beep beep. Amidst the excited anticipation of the young woman, the testing instrument's results came out. SS Rank 4 Claw Dragon King Template. Xiao was stunned. At that moment, a knock came from outside. Followed by the bald instructor's voice, Xiao Ye, Cheng Binxi, go to the highest command of the city guard immediately. A leader wants to see you. Understood, instructor, Xiao Ye replied. Xiao rushed over and grabbed Xiao Ye's shoulder, exclaiming with delight, SS Rank Template. What's going on? Xiao Ye glanced at her and said, let's go out for a bit, we'll talk when we get back. After saying that, Xiao Ye had the rule fragment crystal materialize and retrieve itself, then reached out and grabbed it, directly returning it to the system space. Xiao suddenly felt the power of the contract rapidly diminish, and her physical strength returned to its previous level. Cheng Binxi came out of the bathroom and was immediately pulled away by Xiao Ye to the highest command of the city guard. The city guard occupied a vast area. The youth training camp was just a small area on the edge of the city guard. After leaving the dormitory building, Xiao Ye and Cheng Binxi were picked up by a team. Xiao tested her talent template again, and when the results came out, the smile on her face froze. C-Rank Dragon Template, Seeing this, Xiao became dejected, like a cripple struck by frost. It took her a while to accept the reality. Xiao Ye, he must have a way. Xiao's emotions recovered slightly. But then Xiao became troubled again. For her to regain her SSS rank template, Xiao Ye must have paid a huge price. She wasn't one to get things for free, so she had to get something in return. But that must be an invaluable treasure. Even selling myself wouldn't be enough to get enough crystal cores. I'm willing to repay him with my body. Thinking of what she had said to Xiao Ye before, Xiao's face flushed slightly. Xiao Ye was top-notch in terms of appearance, inner qualities, and talent, but each Beast Tamer could only contract one template. So annoying. If only Beast Tamers could contract multiple opposite-sex templates. Xiao rolled around on the sofa, clutching her head, extremely annoyed, the enormous beast beneath her weight. The highest command post of the city's guard. The wide road was heavily guarded and orderly, with fully armed teams visible every so often. Entering the manor, a guard led them to a large office. Inside sat a middle-aged man with a square face, currently on the phone. "Master, you're quite something." You immediately recognized that Xiao Ye and his friend, both SSS rank, were suited for hell-level training. The middle-aged man was surprised. "What hell-level training?" "Hey, master, don't pretend. I know you value Xiao Ye and his friend highly. Before each training session, you specifically instruct me to maximize the difficulty." The bald instructor, known as a training maniac, said admiringly, "It really is very effective. Training below hell-level difficulty has no effect on them at all, it has to start at hell-level. Only hell-level training is effective?" A hint of joy flashed in the middle-aged man's eyes. Was our Mengxuan-based city about to produce a dragon? But why the repeated instructions before every training session? The middle-aged man's expression changed, and he hurriedly rummaged through the drawer, his face grim. He cursed inwardly, "That little brat again. He stole my token." That communication token, a symbol of identity, was used for remote command and communication, and was not frequently used. Any orders were directly issued to the guards. A report came from outside, reporting to the pavilion master. "Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan have been received." The middle-aged man hung up the phone, his expression instantly returning to calm, his eyes filled with anticipation. "Come in." As Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan entered, they heard him laugh heartily and say, "I've long heard that two giant dragons have appeared in my Mengxuan-based city. Seeing them today, it's truly extraordinary." Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan humbly replied, "You flatter me." The middle-aged man pointed to a large map on the wall and said seriously, "Mengxuan-based city is near the Monster Mountain Range. This area is teeming with monster snakes and giant pythons, and there are even dragons causing trouble in the shadows. We've been fighting the monster snake forest for hundreds of years to build a defense line, allowing the base city to survive safely to this day." Xie Mengxuan casually said, "Uncle, you've worked hard. The people of the base city are very grateful." Xiao Ye covered Xie Mengxuan's mouth, preventing her from speaking carelessly. Xie Mengxuan was confused. Xiao Ye whispered in her ear, "The pavilion master's words have three layers of meaning. First, the city guardian pavilion is the most important line of defense for the base city, for which generations have sacrificed their lives and energy. Second, the people of the base city can only grow up safely under the protection of the city guardian pavilion, and we should be grateful. Third, he first praised us as the dragons of the wilderness base city, which is to ask us to express our attitude." Xie Mengxuan understood. A big shot is a big shot. A single sentence contains so many layers of meaning. Patting her chest, Xie Mengxuan was extremely grateful to have formed a contract with Xiao Ye. Otherwise, with her limited intelligence, she didn't know how many embarrassing things she might have said. After speaking, Xiao Ye looked at the middle-aged man and said firmly, "Sect leader, I believe that one day, our Mengxuan-based city will sweep through the demon serpent forest." The middle-aged man's eyes lit up, and a smile bloomed on his face. He said, "Good. Well said. However, although our city guard pavilion is growing stronger day by day, the growth rate of magical beasts is increasing exponentially, which is a bit difficult." Xiao Ye said. Xiao Ye was speechless. This highest commander of the city guard pavilion had been digging a pit for him, waiting for him to fall into it. Sure enough, those who could sit in this position were not simple-minded people. Please continue reading. Chapter 17 Five-Claw Golden Dragon, the Might of the Holy Golden Dragon. Sect Master, New prodigies will continuously emerge from the Mengxuan base city, such as our generation. They will definitely grow stronger in the future, and together with the City Guardian Legion, we will sweep through the demon serpent forest. Xiao Ye replied, saying he would cooperate with the City Guardian Legion, not join the City Guardian Legion. This meant he was refusing to join the City Guardian Legion. The City Guardian Legion Master said with slight disappointment, since you don't intend to join the City Guardian Legion, I won't force you. You have your own path to walk. Xiao Ye prepared to take his leave. The sect master said, train hard when you get back. By the way, my son, Ye Luren, is deliberately causing trouble for you with my token. When you get back, retrieve the token for me and teach him a lesson so he'll remember it. Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi paused, understood. The sect master was expressing goodwill towards them. His son was deliberately causing trouble, and Xiao Ye was personally disciplining him, which meant that this sect master wasn't as petty as his son, Ye Luren. Ye Luren is the son of the city guard pavilion master? No wonder he's so arrogant. But speaking of tripping him up, Xiao Ye pondered for a long time but couldn't figure out where he had been tripped up. Ye Luren must be a very skilled opponent. Even his tripping was done without leaving a trace. Ye Luren, that's because you're too monstrous. In the dormitory apartment, Nangguang Xiao thought for a long time but still couldn't figure out how to exchange the restoration template treasure with Xiao Ye for an equivalent price. So annoying. What should I do? Why don't I just give myself to him as compensation? At this moment, Xiao Ye's voice came from outside. What do you mean, give him compensation? Give it to whom? Nangguang Xiao jumped up from the sofa, immediately sitting up straight, head held high and chest puffed out. Cheng Bingxi leaned closer and hugged Nangguang Xiao's arm, a playful smile curving her lips. Xiao, would you like to form a contract with Xiao Ye? He has a way to help you restore your SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon template. Nangguang Xiao looked at her in surprise, then cautiously said, a Beast Tamer can only contract with one person of the opposite sex. To put it another way, do you agree to Xiao Ye contracting with me? Cheng Bingxi nodded, her mind flashing with images of delicious magical beast meat. She licked her red lips and said, I agree. You're an SSS level template. Then the three of us will be invincible. Nangguang Xiao's eyes widened. Sister Bingxi actually agreed. Xiao Ye took out 2 rule fragment crystals from his system space and tossed them at Nangguang Xiao. The rule fragment crystals turned into a cloud of light and melted onto Nangguang Xiao's body. Nangguang Xiao felt that sensation again. Powerful strength. Abundant contract power. This feeling made her groan involuntarily every second. Even Nangguang Xiao herself felt embarrassed by the moan, her face flushing red as she quickly covered her mouth. Xiao Ye picked up the small template testing device that had been thrown on the ground and had Nangguang Xiao test it. The results came out quickly. SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon template. With a whoosh, Nangguang Xiao transformed into a beast-eared girl, 2 pointed ears perched on her head, her eyes changing from bright black and white to golden yellow. Wow! Dragon-eared girl, little dragon girl. Cheng Bingxi curiously touched and stroked Nangguang Xiao's body. Xiao Ye leaned closer, pointing at her handsome face, and said, don't you have anything to say? The little dragon girl, Nangguang Xiao, gave him a quick kiss, then nestled in Xiao Ye's arms, blushing shyly. I'm too poor, I couldn't find anything to exchange for you. I'll give myself to you. Xiao Ye sent out a contract with the power of laws and the certification of heaven and earth, then let's sign it. A beast tamer can only contract one beast-eared girl, right? With this question lingering in her mind, Nangguang Xiao nervously signed her mark on the contract. The instant she signed, a dragon's roar, seemingly capable of awakening all things, echoed from the space. In a flash, Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao vanished, replaced by a supreme and mysterious aura. A dragon, an eastern dragon. Rabbit eyes, deer antlers, bull's mouth, camel's head, tiger's paws, eagle's claws, fish scales, and a snake's body. The densely packed scales reflected a golden sunlight, and the vertical pupils reflected surprise. Looking at the golden dragon soaring in the living room, Cheng Bingxi was utterly awestruck. Dragons. In many past eras, they were symbols of power, symbols of royalty, supreme, noble, and mysterious. Seeing a living dragon now, Cheng Bingxi felt she had broadened her horizons. In the mind of the first form golden dragon, Nangguang Xiao seemed to merge with Xiao Ye, Their consciousnesses intertwined, able to sense each other's presence and communicate. I've transformed into a dragon. Xiao Ye, we successfully formed a contract. Nangguangxiao's consciousness was incredibly active. Xiao Ye could feel her cheering and jumping for joy. From the massive phenomenon she had just awakened, to her C-rank template, and then to today, for the past few days, she had been ridiculed and despised for being stuck with a C-rank dragon template. During training, she could only watch enviously as others transformed into their beast ear girl forms and summoned their contracted beasts. Now, she could do it too. This feeling of regaining what she had lost was like a roller coaster ride, her emotions plummeting from the clouds to hell, and then soaring back up. Just like awakening her C-rank template, Xiao Ye had left an indelible mark on her heart. It was Xiao Ye who gave Nangguangxiao a new life, who gave her hope. At this moment, Xiao Ye was looking at the system panel that only he could see. Contract template, SSS rank 5 Claw Golden Dragon, First Form Golden Dragon, 2 Toes, Realm, Tier 3, Talent Skills, Holy Golden Dragon's Might, Mental Pressure Effect, weakens enemy attributes by 50%, supreme among its kind, with a function of dominating bloodlines, Invincible Golden Body, the already powerful Dragon Drive. After the skill is activated, the attack power is increased tenfold, and the defense power is increased tenfold. Summoned Beast Form Upgrade Function, 5 Claw Golden Dragon, First Form 2 Toes. 0/100 Evolution Points, Second Form 3 Toes. It's a natal talent skill, a natural element control. The 5 Claw Golden Dragon does not have 5 claws, but rather 5 toes, with each claw having 5 toes. Chapter 18 Ye learn, filled with grief and indignation. He could contract with countless templates, a fact Cheng Bingxi knew. Initially, she was somewhat resistant, but gradually accepted it after Xiao Ye's persuasion. According to Cheng Bingxi, only SSS rank beast ear girls were worthy of forming a contract with Xiao Ye. But how many newly awakened SSS rank templates were there in the world? Let alone Manggaeum base city, even in super base cities like the capital and the mega base cities of Beijing and Shanghai, the number of awakened SSS rank templates each year was probably very small, let alone awakened SSS rank templates that hadn't yet been contracted. The 3 were called away for training by the bald instructor. So the 3 of them left the apartment together. Cheng Bingxi held Xiao Ye's left arm, and Nangguangxiao held his right arm, leaving Xiao Ye squeezed between the women, a situation where the woman outnumbered the man. Xiao Ye said it was okay, he could handle it. Today was the 5th day, and the other contractors in the training camp were conducting simulated combat to adapt to summoned beast battles. At this moment, both the Devil Butterfly and the Wolf King had been defeated by the Demon Eagle's claws. The Wolf King's summoners, Jingran and Xie Mengxuan, looked solemn after leaving their summoned beast forms. The Demon Eagle's innate skill is to obscure the opponent's vision, making it impossible for them to see clearly. This move is almost always successful. Once hit, the opponent is guaranteed to be at a disadvantage. Moreover, the Demon Eagle circles high in the sky, making it impossible for the summoned beasts on the ground to do anything to it. I'm afraid only those 2 can put up a fight against a Demon Eagle. TCH. The Demon Eagle reverted to its human form, and Ye Learn sneered, his eyes full of disdain. Is this all the strength you have? Really not that great. Faced with Ye Learn's mockery, Jingran's eyes blazed with anger, and the Demon Disc Summoner from the second high school also glared angrily. What are you so smug about? You're just using your aerial advantage to suppress us. If you've got the guts, go and fight Xiao Ye, and see what you're capable of. In his anger, Jingran admitted that he was no match for Xiao Ye. Ye Learn shuddered at the thought of Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi, who had undergone hellish training. But then his partner said, "That Xiao Ye? Hiding in his apartment for 3 days straight. I've never seen anyone train like that before." Ye Learn suddenly understood. What was there to be afraid of? Xiao Ye and Cheng Bingxi must have paid a huge price to pass the hellish training, and they'd been hiding in their apartment these past few days out of fear and recovery. That was just cowardice. Ye Learn sneered, "Xiao Ye? Trash. He can't even train. You want a coward to defeat me?" Just then, a melodious voice rang out, "Ye Learn, who are you calling a coward? Are you looking for death?" Ye Learn's eyes lit up. It was the voice of his beloved Nangguangxiao. "Yao, you haven't formed a contract yet, you don't need to train today." Ye Learn looked over, and then he was stunned. Nangguangxiao and Xiao Ye were snuggled together, chatting happily as if they were in love, and even kissed in front of everyone. But Xie Mengxuan was right next to Xiao Ye. Holy crap, Xiao Ye is awesome, he got both beauties. Our Mangam-based city's two most beautiful school beauties have both been won over by Xiao Ye. Everyone stand up and pay homage to our ancestor. If I could get a kiss from a rich school beauty, it would be worth losing 10 years of my life. I remember Ye Learn was a loyal simp for that rich school beauty. What was his reaction when he saw this? Everyone discussed among themselves, then their eyes fell on Ye Learn. Tisk. Ye Learn clenched his fists, his face contorted with rage, and roared, Xiao Ye! Let Yao go! Xiao Ye and the other two calmly walked onto the training ground. Xiao Ye then spread his hands, revealing nothing, and said with a mocking look, Who do you want me to let go of? Oh! Ye Learn choked, only then realizing it was Xiao clinging to Xiao Ye's arm. Yao, you. Ye Learn's eyes widened, his expression as if he'd just eaten a lemon, staring at Xiao in disbelief. Don't you know men and women shouldn't touch each other? He reached out and tried to pry the young woman's hand away. Xiao, her hand touched, looked disgusted and said, You already said men and women shouldn't touch each other, why are you touching me? Let go. She kicked Ye Learn away and clung even tighter to Xiao Ye. Ye Learn, scolded by his beloved goddess, stood frozen in place, completely dumbfounded. My white moonlight, it's not pure anymore. He was heartbroken and furious. At this moment, Ye Learn's contractor, the fat girl, stepped forward and said disdainfully, Learn, this woman is shameless, a promiscuous girl. She still tries to seduce others even though they have contractors. She's obviously no good. Xiao Ye frowned and was about to step forward to retort, but Ye Learn beat him to it, raising his hand and slapping the fat girl across the face, roaring, Who are you calling shameless? Who are you calling promiscuous? You don't deserve to. Xiao was his white moonlight since childhood, a perfect existence in his heart, and he wouldn't allow anyone to belittle her. The fat girl covered her swollen face and cried. Ahem. Today is a simulated combat training, not a place for you to cause trouble. Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, return to your positions. The bald instructor, who had been enjoying the gossip, reacted in time and restored order to the scene. As for what happened between Xiao and Xiao Ye, that was none of his business. Ye Learn requested after returning to the team, Instructor. I propose a match with Xiao Ye and the others, let me experience the power of an SSS-level summoned beast. Simulated combat, everyone must participate. Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, go, the bald instructor said. Xiao Ye, Xiao, let go, I'm transforming. Xiao, okay. Ye Learn, ah. The wind howled, the snow fluttered. Then Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan summoned the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox. After a dazzling special effect, a pure white two-tailed fox appeared. On the other side, Ye Learn forcibly grabbed the fat girl and mobilized the power of the contract to summon a demonic eagle. With a hum, the sound of flapping wings rang out, and a demonic eagle with a wingspan of 2 meters appeared 10 meters in the sky. Chirp chirp. The demonic eagle's sharp eyes stared straight at the two-tailed white fox. Second tier. The demonic eagle had reached the second tier. As expected of the son of the city guardian pavilion master, this S-rank beast master has leveled up to the second tier in just a few days. Xiao Ye, be careful. This guy's talent skill is to block vision, watch out for a sneak attack. The leader of the second high school, who is also the summoner of the demon disc, warned. Block vision? The demon eagle let out a cry and activated its talent skill, vision blocking. As the name suggests, it can plunge the opponent's vision into darkness. Sure enough, under the white fox's vision, it was completely dark, unable to see anything at all. But Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile. Is combat between magical beasts solely based on sight? With a bang, the white fox leaped up like a rocket, leaving spiderweb-like cracks on the ground. Whoosh! In a flash, the white fox accurately jumped above the demon eagle. The action happened in the blink of an eye. The demon eagle didn't even have time to react. The white fox's stomp unleashed 30 tons of force. Boom! The air exploded under its foot. Chapter 19 The City Lord's Painstaking Plans. The demonic eagle was crushed to the ground by an overwhelming force, instantly losing its fighting ability and becoming barely alive. Ye Learn was utterly horrified. He felt his understanding had been shattered. How could you be so powerful? One move. One hit kill. Purely overwhelming, The demonic eagle had no power to resist. An SSS-level summon beast, terrifying indeed. The young prodigies present were all shocked. Xie Mengxuan looked at the dazzling Xiao Ye and felt endless regret. Due to its extreme weakness, the demonic eagle was forced to revert from its summoned beast form to its human form. Ye Luren and the obese girl coughed up blood, lying on the ground barely breathing. The bald female instructor stepped forward to check their condition and gave each of them a bottle of medicine before letting out a sigh of relief. Although the demonic eagle was not as good as the white fox, in the bald instructor's eyes, it was still a prodigy. Both were good students worth nurturing. 5th rank. Physical strength breaks the sound barrier. The bald male instructor gave the white fox a deep look, a look of shock flashing deep in his eyes. Only 5 days after awakening, he had already reached the 5th rank. An SSS-level summon beast, terrifying indeed. The white fox deactivated its summoned beast form, and Xiao Ye appeared, walking up to Ye Luren and calmly saying, "Give it to me." Ye Luren was still in shock and fear, instinctively shrinking back, saying, "What are you going to do? Let me tell you, don't mess around, I'm the son of the city guardian pavilion master." He chickened out, unable to win in individual combat, he invoked his background power. "What's wrong?" The bald instructor, fearing someone might die, stepped forward to inquire. Xiao Ye scoffed, "This guy stole the military pavilion master's communication token and sabotaged me behind my back. The master ordered me to take the token back." "What? Stole the token? Shameless, utterly shameless. He's a petty scoundrel." No wonder Xiao Ye hadn't come for days. It turns out Ye Luren was using underhanded tactics. Fortunately, the master is upright and doesn't favor his son, allowing Xiao Ye to retrieve the token himself. The contractors present stared with disdain at Ye Luren, who was sprawled on the ground. Utterly humiliated. Utterly humiliated on the spot. Ye Luren felt a surge of rage, coughed up blood, and fainted. The bald instructor patted him down a few times and pulled a completely black token from his pocket. Whoosh! It really was the military pavilion master's communication token. So, it was you issuing the orders. The bald instructor realized that the one giving him the commands wasn't the military pavilion master, but Ye Luren. The bald instructor was extremely disappointed in Ye Luren and dragged him towards the military region. Impersonating the pavilion master deserved punishment. The bald female instructor approached and, under Xiao Ye's gaze, wrote in her notebook, "Simulated combat training passed." Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan, each awarded a Tier 3 crystal core. Xiao Ye frowned. A Tier 3 crystal core was of no use to him anymore. "Instructor, I remember the reward level of the crystal core is based on the student's cultivation level, right?" Facing Xiao Ye's question, the bald female instructor nodded and said, "Yes, your current cultivation level seems to be, Tier 3? The bald female instructor recalled the aura that had erupted from the holy white fox earlier. It was indeed Tier 3. "Could it be that you have already advanced to Tier 4? The female instructor looked at Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan with suspicion. Xiao Ye shook his head. During the battle earlier, Tier 3 physical strength was already sufficient, so he only unleashed Tier 3 aura. Boom! A powerful aura erupted from Xiao Ye, whipping up a strong wind. Nangguangxiao's skirt was blown up, revealing her long, fair legs. With a cry of surprise, Nangguangxiao blushed and playfully scolded, "You bad boy." 5th rank. The bald female instructor was shocked. "You're all 5th rank?" Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan nodded, and the other contractors present were stunned by this news. 5th rank? How is that possible? It's only been 3 or 4 days. Awesome. SSS-level contractors really can't be measured by ordinary standards. Reaching 5th rank in 4 days, he'll probably be a grandmaster in a month. Wow, that's terrifying. A grandmaster can become the lord of a city. How many resources did the rich girl get? Did she have to lower herself to be a concubine? Don't say that too loudly. I bet she'll have a child soon. Awesome. Our Mangilum-based city's lord is holding a grandson. It's time for him to step down. Xiao Ye should take over. Nangguangxiao blushed at the comments and ran away with a scream. Xiao Ye, meanwhile, pulled the bald female instructor to change the reward record. The bald female instructor laughed and cried as she changed the reward. "Xiao Ye, Xie Mengxuan, each of them gets a 5th rank crystal core. Training complete, dismissed." Nangguangxiao ran back and waited for Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan outside the training ground. She wanted to have dinner with Xiao Ye. Nangguang Xiao was quite troubled. With her relationship with Xiao Ye exposed, it was difficult to explain to her father. Two girls simultaneously having a contract with the same boy, she wondered what her father, the city lord, would think. "What's wrong?" Xiao Ye asked, noticing the worried look on the face of the plump girl clinging tightly to his arm. Nangguang Xiao shook her head and said, "I can eat ice today. The high-class hunting restaurant is buying a new ice mark beast today. It's said that dishes made from its meat stay below 0 degrees Celsius, with a smooth and bouncy texture. Let's go eat." Xie Mengxuan, clinging to Xiao Ye's other arm, brightened up and said, "I want some too." Xie Mengxuan was a foodie who loved delicious food, especially those with a unique and intriguing flavor. And so, Xiao Ye, surrounded by the two girls, arrived at the high-class hunting restaurant. In the private room, upon seeing the price of the dish, Xiao Ye gasped. One dish required a 7th-tier crystal core. No credit, no defaults, payment had to be made on the spot. One meal cost a 7th-tier crystal core and 2 6th-tier crystal cores. Only a wealthy woman could afford that. Along the way, many people who knew Nangguang Xiao's identity witnessed her unusually close relationship with Xiao Ye. After the three of them finished eating, rumors about Nangguang Xiao spread throughout the entire training camp and even the city guard camp. At this moment, on the top floor of a high-rise building in the very center of Mengxuan Base City, the city lord, Nangguang Xiao, was looking at a map with a worried expression. He was marking a location on the edge of the base city with a pen, constantly scheming in his mind. If I remember correctly, the demon serpent forest will launch another beast-tide attack on the base city soon. That dragon has probably improved even more at the Grandmaster level. Back then, he and the pavilion master of the military pavilion, both grandmasters, barely managed to repel that dragon. The Beast King retreated, and the beast-tide quietly receded 2 years ago, otherwise, the Wild Plains base city would have suffered irreversible destruction. That dragon is the Beast King of the Demon Serpent Forest, commanding 8 Grandmaster-level demon serpents, dozens of 9th-tier powerhouses, hundreds of 7th-tier powerhouses, hundreds of 5th-tier powerhouses, and thousands of 3rd-tier demon serpents. Dragons possess a noble bloodline, having been transformed into dragons after 1,000 years by a demon serpent swallowing a rare treasure. Dragons have a natural suppression of the demon serpent's bloodline. Please continue reading. Chapter 20, Wedding Night, New System Task. Report, a voice announced from outside. Come in. Lord, you instructed me to keep a close eye on the young lady's whereabouts, and I've got some news, the guard said. Nangguang Xiao paused, then, intrigued, urged the guard to continue. The young lady has a boyfriend, and they spend every day together, the guard said cautiously, fearing the Lord's anger. Nangguang Xiao wasn't angry, instead, a smile appeared on his face. Excellent. That's great news. Nangguang Xiao, having failed in her awakening, vowed never to form a contract with a member of the opposite sex until her template was repaired. Now that Nangguang Xiao has a boyfriend, it means she has formed a contract with that young man. This is incredibly good news. But, the guard stammered, his face showing difficulty as he continued, that boy already has a contractor. Miss Nangguang is the third party. Nangguang Xiao's smile froze, his eyes filled with disbelief as he stared at the guard, saying, "What you're saying, is it true?" The guard quietly took a step back. "It's true. Many people saw it at the time, I guess everyone in the training camp knows. There are rumors that Miss Nangguang is already pregnant with that boy's child. There are even rumors that Miss Nangguang humbled herself and willingly bore a child for that boy. Everyone says that Miss Nangguang is shameless, clinging to someone else's contractor, and that girl, under pressure from power, had no choice but to accept her as a mistress." With each sentence Nangguang Xiao heard, his face grew darker, until finally, his face was as black as charcoal, his heart filled with rage. Bang! The city lord slammed his hand on the table, roaring, "Nangguang Xiao, you've really gone too far. You, go and capture her, lock her up for a month. Understood." The guard was about to turn and leave when the city lord spoke again, his anger still rising. "Wait. I'll go myself. She's like a dog that gets kicked in the head if not disciplined for 3 days. Lock her up for a few months, she won't need to take the college entrance exam. Release her when she comes to her senses." He felt utterly humiliated. Nangguang Xiao, as the city lord's daughter, represented the face of the city lord's mansion in public, but what had she done? Bullying others? Harassing a young boy? Humiliating herself? She had completely disgraced the city lord's mansion. Xiao Ye returned to the dormitory apartment with the two girls. Looking at the simply decorated apartment, Cheng Bingxi tilted her head, thinking, isn't something missing? The spirited young woman asked curiously, what's missing? I'll go buy it. A wedding dress. A red wedding gown. Today is your big day, Xiao, don't you think it would be a shame not to prepare something? Nangguang Xiao suddenly realized, oh right. Entering into a contract means getting a marriage certificate. Today is my big day. Cheng Bingxi pulled Nangguang Xiao out, and half an hour later the two returned in a flurry, carrying a huge pile of things. After 10 minutes of decorating, the small apartment was filled with festive red. Nangguang Xiao was pushed into the bathroom by Cheng Bingxi, who tossed her a red dress, a wedding gown. Xiao Ye was reading a book when Cheng Bingxi pulled her to the sofa. Xiao Ye looked up and was startled by Cheng Bingxi's expression. Her face was full of resentment, and tears welled in her beautiful eyes. What's wrong with you? Xiao Ye, you bastard, why is it that only you can have an infinite contract? Cheng Bingxi finally said what she had been holding back for a long time. Maybe I'm the chosen one, or maybe the heavens favored me because I'm too handsome? Xiao Ye thought to himself before answering. PFFT. Cheng Bingxi was amused and pounced on Xiao Ye, biting his wrist. Ouch! That hurts. After letting go, Xiao Ye looked closely and saw 2 neat rows of teeth marks on his wrist. Cheng Bingxi's mood improved a bit, and she huffed, you better treat me and Xiao well, okay, you rascal. Half an hour later, Cheng Bingxi pushed Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao into the only bedroom in the apartment and instructed them, I'll keep watch for you. Sleep on the sofa. The door was locked from the outside with a bang, and Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao, dressed in a wedding dress, looked at each other in disbelief. Sister Bingxi, she's so great. Nangguang Xiao was deeply moved. Xiao Ye looked at the beautiful young woman and said, you're even greater. Let's make the most of this wonderful night and get started. Xiao Ye lifted the veil from Nangguang Xiao's head and immediately put it back down. Do you want to transform into your beast-haired girl form? Xiao Ye asked. Nangguang Xiao shook her head, no. After a while, the system's voice rang in Xiao Ye's ears, the template energy of the host's contractor, Nangguang Xiao, is too brutal and exceeds limits. Please do not overstep these limits, otherwise both of you will explode and die. With a thud, Xiao Ye fell to the ground, completely bewildered. 10 minutes later, Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao, dressed neatly, entered the living room. Silence. Utter silence. The three sat on the sofa in silence. After a long while, soft sobs came from Nangguang Xiao's side. Template, why is it always the template? First, the awakening failed, and now it's preventing me from entering the bridal chamber. Nangguang Xiao's eyes were red, and she was extremely frustrated. 2 more rule fragment crystals than the average person, and the template is still in an uncontrollable state? Xiao Ye deduced a reason based on the system's prompts. The excess energy will become uncontrollable when the two engage in transgressions, causing them to explode and die? Xiao Ye rubbed his temples, feeling quite troubled. The beautiful young woman was truly like an elegant lotus flower, beautiful from afar but untouchable. Host encounters an event, mission triggered, stage mission, win the National College Entrance Examination, bringing Mengxuan base city's overall performance into the top 10 of all base cities in the country. Reward, Super Invincible Mysterious Grand Prize. Current mission, within half a month, raise the realm of 2 summoned beasts to the 9th rank, kill 2 Grandmaster level magical beasts. Reward, Rule level rare treasure, Zuanhuang Gem. Zuanhuang Gem has the effect of calming chaotic laws and pacifying chaotic and excess energy. Accept mission? No penalty for refusal, no penalty for mission failure. Rule level rare treasure, Zuanhuang Gem? Xiao Ye's eyes widened in surprise. It has the effect of calming excess energy? This is like a pillow coming to my sleep. System, you really understand me. Xiao Ye, task accepted successfully, time limit, half a month. Then, Xiao Ye explained to Nangguang Xiao. Nangguang Xiao was excited, her eyes shining, and asked, after reaching the 9th rank, do you have a solution? Xiao Ye nodded. Yay. Nangguang Xiao, dressed in her wedding gown, brightened up and took out a blue potion from her bag, excitedly saying, this is energy liquid extracted from the meat of a 7th rank magical beast, and I have a lot more. Nangguang Xiao ran out barefoot and returned 2 minutes later carrying a pile of blue potion bottles. Her apartment was right next door. The three counted the number of potion bottles and concluded, 2, 4, 8, a total of 9 7th-rank energy liquids, 12 6th-rank energy liquids, 2 8th-rank energy liquids, 22 5th-rank energy liquids. Chapter 21 The City Lord's Sudden Change of Attitude. Energy liquid is refined energy extracted from the meat of magical beasts using advanced technology. It doesn't require further purification by summoned beasts and can be directly absorbed and used. Let's use this energy liquid to cultivate first, and then we'll use the crystal cores to cultivate when we run out. Nangguang Xiao patted her chest, saying confidently, I have nothing but abundant cultivation resources. Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan believed her without question. This was a wealthy woman who could casually toss out 7th-tier crystal cores. Just then, a rough, foul voice came from outside, Nangguang Xiao, come out here. Nangguang Xiao's expression changed upon hearing this. It was her father, the city lord's voice. What do we do? What do we do? Should we hide? She grabbed Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan, trying to jump out the window and run away. Xie Mengxuan was completely bewildered. Nangguang Xiao said anxiously, I guess my father has come to catch me in the act. If I get caught, I'm bound to be punished. He definitely won't allow his daughter to share a husband with another woman. He'll break us up. Hearing this, Xie Mengxuan also panicked. What should we do? Xiao Ye raised his hand and pressed down on their shoulders, pulling them back to the sofa. He calmly said, let's explain everything to him once and for all. Can we outrun a Grandmaster level expert? Besides, we're making a legitimate contract, not doing anything underhanded. There's no need to hide from him. Nangguang Xiao made up her mind, determined to go all out. Xiao Ye, you're right. Xie Mengxuan ran over and opened the apartment door. The city lord walked in, his face grim. He glanced around the apartment before fixing his gaze on Nangguang Xiao and Xiao Ye. I didn't expect to meet you under these circumstances, city lord, please have a seat. Xiao Ye poured a cup of tea. The city lord waved his hand, his gaze fixed on Nangguang Xiao, filled with anger, and said, look what you've done. A young virgin, crammed together with a pair of contractors, you've completely disgraced the city lord's mansion. Nangguang Xiao looked aggrieved, her neck shrank back, not daring to speak. Xiao Ye frowned and said, city lord. What do you mean by squeezing together with a pair of contractors? Nangguang Xiao is indeed the city lord's daughter, but she's also a human being. Doesn't she have the right to choose her contractors? The city lord shifted his gaze to Xiao Ye, saying with great disappointment, everyone says that SSS-level beast tamers are the hope of Mangudum Base City. In terms of beast taming, you are excellent. However, in terms of being a person, you, like Xiao, still lack education. Xiao Ye stood up, his 1.8-meter height slightly looking down at the 1.7-meter city lord, and said condescendingly, City lord, please answer my question. Does Nangguang Xiao have the right to choose her contractors? Xiao Ye's voice was firm and resounding throughout the living room, his gaze fixed on the city lord, his aura unyielding. The city lord's lips twitched, and he said, yes. Xiao Ye stepped forward, his momentum undiminished, his eyes bright and piercing, and asked again, what if she forms a contract with me? The city lord's tone turned cold, are you playing me? Each beast tamer can only form a contract with one template girl, that's common sense. Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao mobilized the power of their contract and began to summon a 5-clawed golden dragon. Buzz! A burst of golden light emanated from the two of them, and a profound and supreme aura permeated the space. What is this? The city lord's expression changed drastically. Roar! A melodious and clear dragon roar rang out, and an oriental golden dragon appeared in the living room, coiling in the air. Rabbit eyes, deer antlers, ox mouth, camel head, tiger paws, eagle claws, fish scales, and snake body. Every scale on the dragon's body shimmered with sacred golden light. Being stared at by the two vertical pupils on the golden dragon, the city lord felt an immense sense of oppression and slumped onto the sofa. A dragon. It's actually a dragon. This aura, this pressure, it's definitely an S-rank or higher summoned beast. Xiao's template has been repaired? The city lord was extremely shocked, filled with many questions. Seeing the city lord's bewildered expression, Nangguang Xiao's consciousness within the golden dragon's mind was overjoyed. Xiao Ye asked, City Lord, can we talk properly now? The City Lord was still in shock, and after a while, he said, I misunderstood you. Immediately afterward, Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao exited their summoned beast state and returned to human form. At this moment, Nangguang Xiao held her head high, revealing a smug expression, looking at the City Lord with great pride. I can infinitely contract with SSS rank templates. Facing the City Lord's confusion, Xiao Ye took the initiative to explain. However, Xiao Ye described the infinite contract as an infinite contract with SSS rank template, precisely to dispel the City Lord's concerns. That's right. My template is an SSS rank 5 Claw Golden Dragon. Xiao Ye helped me repair it. Nangguang Xiao hugged Xiao Ye's arm, very proud. Infinite contract. An SSS rank 5 Claw Golden Dragon. The City Lord felt as if he had touched upon the secrets of the world, and was so shocked that he couldn't speak. After a long while, he said to Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao with great enthusiasm, Good. Good. A perfect match. I have high hopes for you too. Especially you, Xiao Ye. I've long heard that you are excellent, but I didn't expect you to be so extraordinary, even able to repair a flawed template. 10 minutes later, the City Lord left with great satisfaction. He didn't stop his daughter from forming a contract with someone else, but he was afraid that his daughter would abuse her power and get entangled with others. Now that he understood the situation, the City Lord was relieved and let Nangguang Xiao and Xiao Ye interact. Watching the City Lord's departing figure, Nangguang Xiao pouted and said unhappily, My daughter formed a contract, but she didn't even show any appreciation. Stop complaining, let's start cultivating. Xiao Ye hadn't forgotten the system mission, and within half a month, he raised the realm of his 2 summoned beasts to the 9th rank. Then, Xiao Ye and Nangguang Xiao summoned the first form, the 2-limbed golden dragon, again. After drinking a bottle of 5th tier energy liquid, Jinlong's cultivation level directly rose from the early stage of the 3rd tier to the late stage of the 3rd tier, as it was absorbed directly without refining. 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 10 bottles, 12 bottles of energy liquid were consumed, and in just 2 hours, Jinlong's cultivation level advanced to the 5th tier. Cheng Bingxi found it unbelievable. Energy liquid was truly a wonderful thing. Unlike refining crystal cores, it didn't require refining impure energy. It could be absorbed directly. Xiao Ye roughly estimated that 5 bottles of 5th tier energy liquid were equivalent to the pure energy contained in a single crystal core. After all, energy liquid was extracted from the meat of magical beasts, unlike crystal cores, which were essentially compressed and stored energy. You should cultivate too, Sister Bingxi. At Nangguang Xiao's suggestion, Xiao Ye tried to activate the power of the 9-tailed celestial fox template contract between himself and Cheng Bingxi. Profound energy appeared around them, and dazzling light flashed. Whoosh! In an instant, Cheng Bingxi disappeared, and a 2-tailed white fox exuding a holy aura appeared on the ground. Xiao Ye's consciousness exists within both the first form of the golden dragon's mind and the 9-tailed celestial fox's mind. He can shield one from the other at any time and control 2 summoned beasts simultaneously. Nangguang Xiao was astonished and exclaimed, Summoning 2 at the same time? It actually works. Please continue reading. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22 Absolute Damage Reduction, Water Element Mastery. Please continue reading. Simultaneously controlling 2 summoned beasts is probably a one-of-a-kind feat worldwide. Next, the 2 SSS-level summoned beasts entered a cultivation state. The next morning, a pile of energy liquid was completely consumed. The first form, the golden dragon hovering in the air, had advanced to the early stage of the 7th rank. The second form, the 2-tailed holy white fox, sitting cross-legged on the sofa, had advanced to the mid-stage of the 7th rank. Xiao Ye, who could sense both summoned beasts simultaneously, felt an explosive power coursing through his body. Controlling the 2-tailed white fox, he unleashed a punch that shattered the sound barrier, creating visible ripples in the air. After trying the 2-tailed white fox, Xiao Ye's consciousness shifted to the mind of the first form, the golden dragon. The golden dragon possessed an anti-gravity instinct, naturally suspending itself in mid-air. With a slight flick of its tail, it shattered the sound barrier, the air fragmenting like a spiderweb before returning to normal. One is at the early stage of the 7th rank, the other at the mid-stage, still a long way from the 9th rank. Having reverted to his human form, Xiao Ye pondered where to obtain crystal cores. 2 Tier 8 crystal cores are needed to advance a Tier 7 SSS level summoned beast to the early stage of Tier 8, and 2 Tier 9 crystal cores are needed to advance from Tier 8 to the early stage of Tier 9. In total, 4 Tier 9 crystal cores plus 4 Tier 8 crystal cores are needed to advance 2 summoned beasts to Tier 9. System Panel, Host, Xiao Ye Evolution Points. 100 Summoned Beast, 5 Claw Golden Dragon, First Form, 2 Toad Golden Dragon, Realm, Early Stage of 7th Rank Talent Skills Golden Dragon's Might, Mental Pressure Effect, weakens enemy attributes by 50%, supreme among its kind, possessing the function of dominating bloodlines. Invincible Golden Body, the already powerful Dragon Drive, after skill activation, increases attack power 10-fold and defense 10-fold. Summoned Beast Form Upgrade Function 5 Claw Golden Dragon, First Form 2 Toad. 0/100 Evolution Points, Second Form 3 Toad, adds 1 innate talent skill. A natural element controls. Xiao Ye added the remaining 100 evolution points to the form upgrade function of the 5-Claw Golden Dragon Summoned Beast. After adding points, the system panel content changed. At the same time, Xiao Ye also sensed a mysterious energy added to the power of the contract. Summoned Beast, 5-Claw Golden Dragon, Second Form, 3 Toad Golden Dragon, Talent Skills, Golden Dragon's Might, Invincible Golden Body, Absolute Damage Reduction, reduces damage taken from any attack by 50%, including physical attacks, mental attacks, magical attacks, law attacks, stellar explosion attacks, cosmic origin level attacks, etc. Water Element Control. The second form of the 3-Toed Golden Dragon is the King of Water. As the name suggests, it controls the water element. Summoned Beast Form Upgrade Function, 5-Claw Golden Dragon, Second Form 3 Toad. 0/200 Evolution Points, Third Form 4 Toad, adds 1 innate concept type talent skill and 1 natural element control. Xiao Ye exclaimed how awesome the talent skills were after the form upgrade. The Golden Dragon's physique was already extremely powerful, its strength comparable to divine weapons. In battle, Holy Golden Dragon's Might can reduce the enemy's attributes by 50%, combined with absolute damage reduction, reducing damage taken by 50%, plus Invincible Golden Body, which increases attack and defense 10-fold. In response, Xiao Ye stated, the second form, the 3-Toed Golden Dragon, is equivalent to an absolute tank and an absolute damage dealer. Returning to human form, the bald instructor summoned the 3 to the dormitory building. A fully armed hunting team was already waiting there, with the cheetah hunting team's labels affixed to the chests of the captain and vice captain. What? Newbies who haven't even taken the college entrance exam yet joining us. They're clearly a burden. Captain, why did you agree? We definitely won't get the Outstanding Hunting Team Award this month. We're the strongest 7th tier hunting team, carrying out dangerous missions. 2 newbies joining will definitely hold us back. This team had 5 pairs of contractors, and apart from the captain and vice captain, the other 4 pairs were all complaining. The captain and vice captain exchanged a glance, their eyes filled with helplessness. This was an order from the highest command, they couldn't refuse. Refuse? That would be disobeying orders. They would be criticized and punished. At this moment, the bald male instructor brought Xiao Ye and the other 2 to the scene and introduced them. Your cultivation level has already reached the 5th rank. The training program of the youth training camp is no longer suitable for you. Therefore, starting today, you will temporarily join the 7th rank hunting team and carry out missions with them. Only through real combat in the wilderness can you quickly improve your combat capabilities. The bald male instructor then introduced Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan to the cheetah hunting team. Instructor, I want to join this hunting team too. Xiao, seeing that she hadn't been called upon, hurriedly made a request. As Xiao Ye's second contractor, how could she be left behind? The bald instructor shook his head. No. You haven't formed a contract yet. You must stay in the youth training camp for training. The members of the cheetah hunting team tensed up when they saw the beautiful young woman also wanting to join. They couldn't afford to add another burden. But hearing the bald instructor's refusal, they all breathed a sigh of relief. Their cheetah hunting team was the strongest hunting team among the 7th rank hunting teams. They didn't need any burdens. No need for a pretty face. Xiao Ye comforted Xie, saying, "You should train at the youth training camp first. Your cultivation level has improved too quickly, you still need to adapt to the sudden surge in power." Xie was disappointed, this was the only option for now. Then, Xiao Ye and Xie joined the cheetah hunting team and immediately set off for the Mengxuan city's defense line. Xie pouted and drove an SUV, following at a distance. At the border between Mengxuan City and the Demon Serpent Forest, the cheetah hunting team, led by their captain, arrived at a dense thicket of grass. Not far away, swarms of demon serpents were rampaging. "Our mission today is to repel the attack of the 7th-tier demonic snake horde ahead. The enemy has 3 7th-tier demonic beasts, 10 6th-tier demonic beasts, and several 5th-tier demonic beasts. Xiao Ye, Mengxuan. Your objective is to assist in killing the 5th-tier demonic beasts. Leave the 7th and 6th-tier demonic beasts to us." Xiao Ye, Mengxuan, "Can you do it?" Reporting, "Captain, we can do it." Xiao Ye and Mengxuan responded. A flash of white light appeared on the scene. The cheetah hunting team captain and members, as if by telepathy, simultaneously activated their contract power, summoning their contracted beasts. After a surge of mysterious energy, a light black striped cheetah, 2 steel lions, and 2 yellow striped tigers appeared. To Xiao Ye's surprise, the captain and vice-captain summoned beasts were black striped cheetahs, not the yellow striped tigers known as the king of beasts. Xiao Ye and Mengxuan also summoned their contracted beasts. Their second form, the 2-tailed holy white fox, appeared. "White fox, just stay in the bushes and watch our performance. Don't make a sound, or you won't even know how you died." After a 7th-tier yellow striped tiger finished speaking, the hunting team's 5 summoned beasts rushed out. At this moment, Xie drove her off-road vehicle into this area. She pouted and complained, "Xiao Ye, you bastard, don't even think about leaving me behind." Next chapter begins. Chapter 23. A comeback against all odds, Xie is arrested. Beyond the dense grass. Roar. A beastly roar erupted as 2 steel lions charged into the swarm of demonic snakes. Thud thud thud. 4 5th-tier demonic snakes were trampled, their skin torn and bleeding, barely clinging to life. 2 yellow striped tigers opened their blood-red maws and, with lightning speed, bit the heads of 2 6th-tier demonic snakes. With 2 cracking sounds, their heads shattered instantly, and the 2 6th-tier demonic snakes were dead. The leading black striped cheetah moved like a phantom, its speed incredibly fast. Swift shadow, speed increased 4-fold, whoosh whoosh. The black striped cheetah was invisible to the naked eye, everyone only felt a shadow flash by. Roar. A 7th-tier early-stage demonic snake, its vital point crushed, let out a dying roar, ultimately unable to escape its fate. Ha ha ha. Again. The black striped leopard let out a hearty laugh, flashing like a shadow as it charged at another 7th-tier demonic snake, its S-shaped maneuver quickly dodging the 5th and 6th-tier snakes. Hiss. The early 7th-tier demonic snake couldn't dodge in time and died in the black striped leopard's jaws once more. Kill. This mission is a sure thing. Where's White Fox? In the bushes. White Fox is such a coward, he's really been hiding the whole time. What can a 5th-tier snake do? Just don't drag us down. This hunting team managed to chat and laugh while hunting demonic snakes, but their words were full of contempt and disdain for White Fox. Watching the cheetah hunting team frolicking outside, Mengxuan exclaimed, "Something's not right. I smell the stench of 8th-tier demonic snakes. These 7th-tier ones are just a lure, there are at least 4 8th-tier ones lying in ambush." Xiao Ye, a summoned beast with an SSS-level template, sensed the subtle difference in the aura in the air and immediately confirmed the presence of the 8th-tier ones. Roar. Just then, 4 powerful king cobras suddenly sprang from the dense ancient trees and bushes around them. Illusionary laws, a mental talent skill that traps enemies in an illusion, a group attack. After the 4 king cobras unleashed their skill, 2 steel lions and 2 yellow striped tigers were instantly trapped in an illusion. In their eyes, the surrounding environment remained unchanged, but to each other, they appeared as 7th-tier demonic snakes. Roar. Roar. The steel lions and yellow striped tigers began fighting each other. The black striped cheetah, unaffected by the illusion, was surrounded by 4 8th-tier king cobras. Damn it, this is troublesome. The captain and vice-captain were extremely anxious in the black striped cheetah's mind. But what made him even more anxious was that he actually saw a two-tailed white fox leisurely emerge from the grass, its posture quite elegant, every movement exuding a sense of ease. Damn it! What a burden, the black-striped cheetah cursed under his breath, roaring, "White fox, you fucking run!" Bang! The black-striped cheetah was struck by the tail of an 8th-tier Cobra King, slamming heavily to the ground and creating a small crater. 8th tier is equivalent to 7th tier, more than 4 times stronger. Even the black-striped cheetah at a peak of 7th tier was crushed. Divine Charm causes confusion in the enemy's mind. Group attack activated, full power. A mental wave spread from the two-tailed holy white fox, instantly affecting all the demon snakes, Cobra Kings, lions, and tigers present. Buzz! The scene seemed to freeze. All magical beasts and summoned creatures except for the black-striped cheetah froze. The two-tailed white fox gracefully pulled the black-striped cheetah out of the pit, asking, "Captain, are you alright?" "I'm fine." "You're at the 7th rank?" The black-striped cheetah was stunned, then charged towards the 8th-rank Serpent King. Bang! The cheetah's foot swept across the 8th-rank magical beast, only slightly breaking its skin. Such a strong physique? Just as the black-striped cheetah was helpless against these 8th-rank creatures, the two-tailed white fox moved, its body breaking the sound barrier, aiming straight for the serpent's vital point. Absolute true damage. Physical attacks ignore all enemy defenses, dealing 100% true damage. Sizzle 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 sizzle. 4 slicing sounds rang out, and the 8th-rank Serpent King was directly cut in two by the white fox's sharp claws. The key point, the 7-inch mark. 4 8th-rank Serpent Kings, dead. Holy crap, that's incredible! The black-striped leopard exclaimed in surprise. He struggled to break through the 8th-tier demonic serpent's defenses, while the white fox easily breached them. The steel lion and yellow-striped tiger, regaining their senses, were speechless with shock at the sight. Bang! 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 The two-tailed white fox unleashed its surging power, and with each resounding crash, the demonic serpents on the scene died instantly. Against a 7th-tier serpent, the white fox only needed to use its physical strength. It didn't even need to employ its innate skills. As for 5th and 6th-tier serpents, they were utterly insignificant compared to the white fox. That's clearly a 7th-tier white fox. Whoever told me it's 5th tier, I'll fight them. Damn it, this SSS rank 7th-tier fox can easily defeat a whole group of us 7th-tier foxes. It seems like we've become a burden. If only the white fox could stay with the cheetah hunting team. Yet, we should change our captain. Under the white fox's leadership, the excellent hunting award is nothing. Watching the two-tailed white fox's elegant battle, the members of the cheetah hunting team became mere spectators, their attitude towards the white fox drastically changing. They were even discussing keeping the white fox as captain. Black-striped cheetah. Discussing changing captains in front of me, the captain, is that really appropriate? 4 8th-tier crystal cores, 3 7th-tier crystal cores, 10 6th-tier crystal cores, and 25th-tier crystal cores. The two-tailed white fox, with a bountiful harvest, happily counted the blood-smelling crystal cores it had dug from the swarm of demonic snakes. "I'll take these crystal cores, is that alright?" the white fox asked. "It's alright, of course it's alright." "Yes, Big Brother, please keep it. This is all Big Brother's achievement, we have no objections." Upon hearing this, the 5 summoned beasts of the hunting team all agreed. At this moment, in the eyes of the summoned beasts of the cheetah hunting team, the two-tailed white fox was a super genius capable of killing magical beasts of a higher level. He was their big brother. He was the new captain who could lead them to glory. "Ah, help!" A melodious and clear girl's voice came from afar. Xiao Ye's expression changed drastically. It was Nangong Xiao's cry for help. With a solemn expression, the two-tailed white fox shot towards the source of the sound. A while later, it arrived at the outer edge of the demon serpent forest, several kilometers away. Nangong Xiao was being coiled around by a snake-like magical beast with 2 small round horns on its head, its foul-smelling head perched on top of Nangong Xiao's head. Ah! Nangong Xiao was terrified, her pretty face drained of color, her beautiful eyes staring in horror at the serpent head of the demonic beast so close to her. A Giano. An 8th-tier demonic Giano. The son of the current Grandmaster-level demonic beast King Giano. Possessing a noble bloodline, born with the ability to control demonic snakes. Please continue reading. Chapter 24 The Divine Dragon appears. The Holy Golden Dragon's might. Please continue reading. Damn it. That's a demonic dragon, an 8th tier demonic dragon. This is bad. The demonic dragon has noble blood and commands a swarm of demonic snakes. This girl can't be saved? Damn it, how did she get here? Is she courting death? Brother White Fox, let's leave quickly. This place is dangerous. Seeing Nangguang Xiao's predicament, the entire cheater hunting team's expressions changed drastically, and they all urged the two-tailed white fox to leave. A rustling sound came from all around. Vicious, chilling eyes were projected from the grass, ancient trees, burrows, and shadowy places, demonic snakes, all of them demonic snakes. They flicked their scarlet tongues, their sharp fangs gleaming with a terrifying light. The entire cheater hunting team felt a chill run down their spines as those vicious eyes stared at them. Leave? Do you think you can leave? The demonic dragon coiled around Nangguang Xiao sneered, greedily inhaling the girl's scent. For some reason, it sensed an aura emanating from her that it yearned for deep within its genes. A bunch of chickens and dogs, daring to enter the territory of your dragon ancestor, you're courting death. The demonic dragon's gaze was arrogant, its expression haughty, and arrogant from the depths of its bloodline. It believed itself to be a born king. At the demonic dragon's command, hiss hiss hiss. Hiss hiss hiss. Hiss hiss hiss. Countless demonic snakes, flicking their scarlet tongues, slithered and shot forth, completely surrounding the two-tailed white fox and the cheater hunting team. 3rd tier, 4th tier, 5th tier, 6th tier, 7th tier, 8th tier. Undead giant pythons, demonic snakes, 5-step death demonic snakes, dozens of types. Their numbers reached a staggering 200. White Fox. We'll fight our way out for you. You're an SSS level summon beast, you can't die. The black striped cheetah roared, determined to make a final, desperate attack. That's right. Let's have a final, satisfying battle today. The entire cheater hunting team planned to cover White Fox's escape. At this moment, the two-tailed white fox spoke up, his eyes filled with disdain as he looked at the distant demonic flood dragon, saying, Flood dragon? Noble bloodline? Frog in a well. Roar. The demonic flood dragon was enraged. Its noble bloodline wouldn't allow humans to despise it. Attack. Devour them alive. Hiss hiss hiss. Hiss hiss hiss. Hiss hiss hiss. The swarm of demonic snakes erupted, each opening its foul-smelling maw, ready to attack. Xiao Ye, who had already exchanged a glance with Nangguang Xiao, immediately activated the contract power of the SSS Level 5 Claw Golden Dragon template. Buzz! 2 dazzling golden lights shone from Nangguang Xiao and White Fox, dispelling the darkness and chill. A profound and supreme aura permeated the space. Roar! A long, clear dragon roar echoed through the air. Nangguang Xiao vanished, and in the sky appeared a golden, vertically pupiled eastern dragon. It possessed rabbit eyes, deer antlers, a bull's mouth, a camel's head, tiger paws, eagle claws, fish scales, and a snake's body. The three-toed golden dragon coiled in midair, its body covered in golden scales that shone with a sacred light. Xiao, who gave you the courage to call yourself the Beast King? A majestic, gruff voice boomed from the golden dragon's mouth, exploding like a bomb in the ears of all the demonic snakes and Xiao. A supreme and profound aura of bloodline emanated from the golden dragon, filling the area. A dragon, this is a dragon. The 8th tier demonic Xiao stared in shock at the golden dragon coiling above. Impossible, absolutely impossible, how can a divine dragon exist in this world? The absolute suppression from its bloodline made the demonic Xiao feel suffocated. Suddenly, the golden dragon's vertical pupils turned to look at it. The demonic dragon felt it being targeted by some terrifying being, and a deep fear rose from the depths of its genes, causing it to shudder. Attack! Attack! Devour it! The demonic dragon was furious at the fear rising within it. It was the son of the Beast King, a dragon of noble blood. None of the demonic snakes dared to advance, they all fell silent. The supreme aura of the golden dragon's bloodline instilled a deep fear in them, making them hesitate to move. Roar! Hiss! The chaotic roars and cries of fear on the scene expressed the trembling and terror of the demonic snakes. Holy crap! That's awesome! Incredible! A divine dragon, it's actually a divine dragon. With a divine dragon appearing, who can stand against us? That girl is fucking freakish, she's a divine dragon summoned beast. Divine dragon, I won't move an inch, you'll be defeated without a fight. Beast horde, dare to move? No way. The entire cheetah hunting team was stunned, their eyes fixed on the golden divine dragon circling above the ancient tree, their hearts nearly exploding with shock. The dazzling light emanating from its golden scales, along with its supreme bloodline aura, made the cheetah hunting team feel as if they were seeing a king, a true king, an absolute and unquestionable king. Roar. Playing tricks, I'll tear you apart. The demonic dragon felt like a clown, and in its rage, it shot towards the golden divine dragon in the sky, its powerful 8th tier aura bursting forth. Roar. A majestic dragon roar erupted from the golden dragon's mouth, creating shockwaves that spread outwards, echoing throughout the entire forest. Sacred golden dragon's might, mental pressure effect, reduces enemy attributes by 50%, supreme among its kind, possessing the power to dominate bloodlines. Buzz. In an instant, all the demonic snakes present were struck hard, their attributes reduced to half. The demonic dragon was the first to be affected. In mid-air, its powerful aura deflated, becoming ordinary. Then, thump. The demonic dragon fell to the ground, its bloodline seemingly imprisoned, suppressed by the sacred pressure, unable to muster any strength. PFFT PFFT PFFT. PFFT PFFT PFFT. PFFT PFFT PFFT. The scene was like dumplings being dropped into a pot. All the demonic snakes that had raised their heads were suppressed to the ground like Mount by the sacred pressure. The blood and ki within their bodies seemed to freeze, unable to be mobilized in the slightest. As the highest-ranking dragon, the divine dragon possessed a natural bloodline suppression over the demonic serpents and Xiao Ye along. At this moment, the three-toed golden divine dragon calmly gazed at the silent swarm of demonic serpents below, its gaze piercingly powerful. 3rd tier, 4th tier, 5th tier, 6th tier, 7th tier, 8th tier. Dozens of types, undead pythons, demonic serpents, 5-step deadly demonic serpents. The swarm of demonic serpents fell silent. Awesome. Beast King, this is the true Beast King. I wish this divine dragon were our captain. Yes, divine dragon and white fox lead our hunting team, let's take off. Damn it, I'm still the captain, and you're already talking about replacing me? Sorry, captain. We'll tell you behind your back next time. Chapter 25 Water Element Control, Supreme Status. The cheetah hunting team mobilized en masse, attacking the surrounding swarms of demonic snakes. The 8th tier demonic snakes possessed formidable defense, so they focused their attacks on the 7th tier and lower tier snakes. Within a minute, the cheetah hunting team had decimated the 200 snakes, leaving a blood-soaked scene. At the white fox's feet lay piles of blood-smelling crystal cores. The 8th tier demonic dragon, suppressed on the ground, glared furiously, watching its subordinates being slaughtered. It trembled with rage. A dozen or so 8th tier demonic snakes lay prostrate on the ground, watching their companions die, their hearts trembling with fear, afraid they would be next. Roar. The 8th tier demonic dragon unleashed its power, roaring as it activated its innate skill, water whirlwind power, able to control surrounding water molecules, forming a water vapor tornado for group attacks. A super hot water vapor tornado formed, sweeping towards the cheetah hunting team. The surrounding air, affected by the water vapor tornado, hissed and distorted. Bang! The 8th tier demonic dragon collapsed to the ground, its aura weak. This attack was forced upon it by mobilizing its life essence, which was ultimately suppressed by the divine pressure. Damn it all. Why are there still dragons in this world? The 8th tier demonic dragon lowered its proud head, roaring in humiliation as it lay on the ground. Xiao Ye, it's time to end this. Water element control, as the name suggests, you possess absolute control over the water element, you are the king of the water. An invisible shockwave emanated from the golden dragon. Condense, the golden dragon said calmly. Before its words even finished, the water vapor tornado unleashed by the 8th tier demonic dragon instantly condensed into ice, the surrounding high temperature plummeting, causing a chill to run through everyone. What? The 8th tier demonic dragon's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets in shock. Its innate skill attack had been easily neutralized by the golden dragon. At this moment, the golden dragon thought to itself, boiling. An invisible shockwave emanated from its body once more. The water elements in this area seemed to have found a master, including the water elements within the magical beasts. The blood temperature within the 8th tier magical dragon and more than 10 8th tier magical snakes rapidly increased. A roar. Their bodies turn crimson, their entire bodies rolling helplessly on the ground, howling miserably. Extract, the golden dragon thought, and the invisible shockwave spread out again. Before the cheetah hunting team's astonished eyes, the blood within the 8th tier magical dragon and 8th tier magical snakes was forcibly extracted from their scales. Due to the excessively high temperature, the blood was scalding hot, emitting white steam and hissing sounds in the air. Like the wailing of ghosts and wolves, it sent chills down the spines of the cheetah hunting team. Is this the divine dragon? The art of water manipulation. In the demonic snake forest, does it still have any rivals? The cheetah hunting team was stunned. Immediately afterward, all the magical snakes present died. The demonic dragon, too, was humiliated and emaciated. Ha ha ha. We've struck it rich. The holy white fox beamed as she looked at the pile of crystal cores she had gathered. 16 rank 8 crystal cores, 20 rank 7 crystal cores, 34 rank 6 crystal cores, over 50 rank 5 crystal cores, and over 100 rank 4 crystal cores. They filled her backpack, making a small, heavy bag. After sorting their spoils, everyone boarded the off-road vehicle, packed up, and headed back to the training camp. Downstairs in the training camp dormitory, the day's training had just finished, and everyone was gathered waiting for the instructor to dismiss them. Ye Learn had regained his usual confidence. He had become the core of the contractor team, with all the contractors in the training camp revolving around him. Can Xiao Ye be as successful as me? The rank 7 hunting team carries out extremely dangerous missions. He probably wet his pants in fear. Ye Learn could imagine Xiao Ye, at a lower level, being looked down upon and scolded by their captain for not keeping up with the rank 7 hunting team's pace. Looking at the spirited Ye Learn and the chubby girl beside him, Jing Ran, a repeat examinee, seemed to see a shadow of Xiao Ye. Tomorrow is the Beast Ear Girl training. Dismissed, the bald instructor waved. Just then, the cheetah hunting team and Xiao Ye's 2 companions arrived at the dormitory building and lined up neatly, awaiting the bald instructor's inspection. The contractors from the training camp didn't rush to leave. They stood there curiously, wanting to see how the 7th tier hunting team fared. The cheetah hunting team was the strongest 7th tier hunting team, having won the outstanding award for 12 consecutive months. They were very famous. The captain of the cheetah hunting team reported to the bald instructor. Xiao Ye and the others are doing well. Reporting, instructor. Xiao Ye and the others are not suitable to be members of our hunting team. Hearing the cheetah hunting team captain's words, the bald instructor's face darkened. The SSS-level summoned beasts were performing poorly. Were they going to be kicked out? Are you serious? The instructor asked. The cheetah hunting team captain nodded and said, reporting, instructor, I'm very serious. I'm not joking. The hunting team members all agreed. That's right. Agreed. I think so too. The captain has finally figured it out. Seeing the captain and his team members' unanimous opinion, the instructor's face darkened even more. Hey. So what if he's SSS level? He's still looked down upon. He's not even as good as me, Ye Learn. Ye Learn, who is watching from the side, grinned from ear to ear, clearly overjoyed. The contractors in the training campsite at this scene. Although Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan were SSS level, in the eyes of the strongest 7th tier hunting team, they were still quite weak, otherwise they wouldn't have been kicked out of the team. The bald male instructor coldly shouted at the hunting team captain, are you sure you want to kick Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan out of the team? You're disobeying orders. The hunting team captain was dumbfounded and argued, reporting, instructor. Xiao Ye isn't suitable to be our team member, he's suitable to be our captain. I'll report to the instructor first, and then I'll submit an application for Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan to serve as captains of the cheetah hunting team. What? The bald instructor was dumbfounded. So you didn't want Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan kicked out of the team, but rather you wanted them to be captains. The vice captain of the cheetah hunting team said, that's right. Xiao Ye and Xie Mengxuan are the most suitable to be our captains. The hunting team members also chimed in, exactly. We're all at the 7th rank, we're only fit to be his assistants. Yet, the 2-tailed white fox is super cool, I love him. Agreed. With him, we'll be the strongest 8th rank hunting team, the strongest 9th rank hunting team. The bald instructor's lips twitched. Was this guy crazy? The entire 7th rank strongest hunting team, and he was going to let 2 high school students who hadn't even taken a college entrance exam be captains? Ye Learn's smile froze, a blooming chrysanthemum standing still. He felt like something, yes, A clown. He admitted he'd spoken too loudly. The trainees watching from the sidelines were stunned. The strongest hunting team captain had personally requested a change of captain, and the target was Xiao Ye. Just moments ago they were sighing my foot. Xiao Ye and his companion were geniuses wherever they went, the most dazzling presences. Sorry, we were too shallow. The following plot is very interesting, please read on. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all, see you in the next video.